Hola, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? I gotta move this. No, I gotta move it. We'll just move this over here. There we go. How's everybody doing today? Welcome in, welcome in. Oh my goodness. Woohoo, we made it, guys. I was nervous too. Con Junior, there normally is, and I'm actually considering turning it on in about a half an hour. Okay. I am highly considering turning it on in about a half an hour. So we'll see. We'll see. Normally I do it. I've just been off this week, keeping it in shorts mode. This week because we've been trying to build up the live a little bit more over here. It's been a little low lately, and so we're just trying to build up over here. But hopefully I'll turn on a half an hour, or it might not be on today. We'll see. We'll see. Someone said Pauly radio show coming in the future. I would love to do a radio show. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone actually listens to the radio anymore, do they? Does anyone actually still listen to the radio? Oh, I know I was missing something over here. You guys still listen to the radio? That's impressive. I didn't know anyone. I thought everything was just it was just podcasts and like Spotify now. Like I didn't think I didn't think anyone got in their car and turned it to 1031 anymore. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that happened. Or I guess it'd be talk radio. It'd probably be an AM show, huh? I'd probably be on AM. I don't even remember what the band is for AM anymore. I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I don't even remember the bands for AM anymore. What station would I be on? Yeah, I know like Sirius exists. I know Sirius does it and stuff like that, but like real radio doesn't really exist anymore, right? And if it does, nobody's listening to it, right? It can't be so popular. It just can't. I'm sorry. It exists in like I assume the only reason it exists is for like the like like when you watch a zombie movie, like every single time you hear watch a zombie movie, they're like, oh, there's a signal. They pick it up on the little dial, old school radio. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, there's a signal coming from a settlement in wherever, and we gotta start getting to that spot. And that's how they find it, through like an old like AM broadcast station. That's all I think about when I think about like actual like turn on the radio shows anymore. Your dad's in his 80s and he still listens to it. That makes sense, right? I assume if you're in your 80s, a lot of things, modern things don't make a lot of sense, right? Because if you're in your 80s now, right, that means you were born while World War II was still going on, or generally around that, that time frame, So if you're 80 years old now, like, didn't World War II end in 1945? So like World War II ended the year you were born, So I'm assuming like, a lot of this stuff doesn't make much sense to you, And that's not trying to be ageist. That's just hard. You know what I'm saying? So That makes sense. Okay. I'm 25 and still listen to FM local country. Um, I guess that's the other group of people that it makes sense for, right? That like if you're in your 80s, like I understand why you probably still listen to, to regular like FM radio. The other group of people is people that live where there's like no internet connection, like just, you know what I'm saying? Like where they live like completely out in like the country where there's no, and like the only thing there is to listen to is the radio because you're not connecting to the internet anywhere, right? So that makes sense to me. Yeah, and then even then, like I guess CDs, yeah, 8 tracks. You got to get the 8 track player out. I don't know. I haven't listened to the radio um like in a long, long time. Like the actual radio. I haven't listened to that in so long. That's just like a crazy thing. Like I literally like I believe y'all that it exists, but like I don't all the way believe you it exists. Make sense? Yeah. You said the newer generations don't know what 8 track or what 8 tracks are. The newer generations don't know what radio is. What do you? This whole conversation. If you are under the age of 25, they have no idea like what the like. I don't think they know what the radio is. Like I'm being dead serious. Like I truly don't believe that. You know, I don't think I have a CD player in my car. The fact that you don't know is funnier, right? Like you're gonna go out to your car and someone said, sorry, was it Truth? Sorry, it's kind of covered over here. Yeah, Truth Seeker was like, I don't know if I have a CD player in my car. First of all, the fact that you don't know is hilarious because that means there is a possibility that you're gonna go out to your car either during or after this live, and you're gonna find out you had a CD player. And I find that hilarious. You know what I'm saying? I find that hilarious that there's going to be like this hidden CD player that has just been like in your car and you're just like, holy shit, check under the passenger seat. Okay. That's where you get the multi-disc. All right. Y'all don't know about that, right? Y'all know about that. The multi-disc. I never run out of Little River Band ever. 6 disc CD changer. Hell yeah, dude. That was a selling point when you bought a car. that was a selling point. Yeah, you had it. You were rocking if you had the car with the you didn't have to change it while you were driving. Especially on like long drives, you had the whole thing queued up. Man, I had one of those. I had one of those. Yeah. Yep. Never exactly. You had a 6 disc CD changer. 5 of those discs never changed. Because you had to literally get in the back seat of your car in order to do that. Okay. Tad had said, "I play." Hold on, I can't see it from this angle. Oh, sorry, I'm changing up angles over here. So sorry, my bad. I said I played a Ken Jam with the Lil Cuz, and I called the slot VHS. Then I had to explain what a VHS was. Oh, Can Jam. Yeah, I played Can Jam with the Lil Cuz. Gotcha. Yeah, you had to explain what a VHS is. I'm sure. I'm sure. Oh, VHS. That's a fun thing to explain. What do you mean I can't just stream it on Netflix? Someone said they had the 12 disc changer. Sorry, I didn't know we were dealing with rich people over here. My bad. Okay. Sorry, I didn't know we had royalty in the house. It's over here bragging. God, VHS. I grew up on VHS, man. I like barely remember the existence of 8 tracks. Like barely. Like I was like just like I just remember it, like it just came in. You know what I'm saying? Like not like I mean it was on its like tail end. You know, by the time I was like of age to like, you know, be doing that type of stuff. I don't remember Laserdisc. Okay, I don't remember that. I remember cassettes. I'm still of the mixtape generation. Okay. I still remember making like recording on a cassette tape, right? A bunch of songs to try to give to a girl, and like you'd hear it on the radio, you had to like catch it. That I remember that. Okay. Oh, I remember all that. Oh, they're about to play it. They're about to play it. Gotta hit the record button. Yep. Oh, so we'll talk about burning CDs. I remember that. Freaking had the Napster or the LimeWire. Just had your computer had all the viruses, right? But it was worth it because you could create a CD, right? It was worth it because you could create a CD, but it had all the viruses. Every single thing you downloaded had all the viruses. All right. Pirate Bay, man. I haven't heard the Pirate Bay in a while. Someone's talking about the host speaking over the song. Yo, I do remember that. I do remember that. Rewinding cassettes with a pencil. Frostwire, that's a good one. Oh, the viruses. I'm sure I destroyed that computer my parents bought. I'm sure there was so many viruses on that thing, man. Be Kind Rewind. Bro, don't you guys miss like Blockbuster days? Oh my goodness. Betty said, I remember LimeWire and the fake Bill Clinton. The fake Bill Clinton. I don't know the fake Bill Clinton MP3. I don't know what that was. That one you got me on. That one you got me. I don't know that one. You guys know what she's referencing? With the freaking with the fake Bill Clinton MP3? That one's got me. I don't remember that one. Yeah, you can only rent 2 movies a day. You'd go out, you'd go get the candy and everything. And so from Blockbuster, or if you were even more poor like I was, you'd go get it from Hollywood Video. Okay. See, all you bougie people got Blockbuster. I got Hollywood Video. All right. It was always attached to a Papa John's. All right. Was it Pizza Hut? I thought it was Papa John's that it was always connected to. Someone saying it's Pizza Hut. Oh yeah, and then there was you'd want to watch a movie and it would be like they'd be out and you would just have to watch another movie. Okay, so that's what it is. It seems like no matter, depending on where you lived, depending on what pizza shop you got, I think because I'm hearing a bunch of different pizza shops, and it sounds like depending on where you live is a different one. Because I swear I can remember which one it was. Like I can still remember where it was. Okay. Man, we're not talking about those type of places, Mannix, okay? We're not talking about those type. That's a different kind of video shop, all right? That's a whole different kind of video shop. Okay? That's the one that Pee Wee Herman hung out in, okay? And see, Roland says it was Papa John. See, it just depends on where you were at. See, mine was Papa John's. I can tell you exactly where that thing was located at. I can still tell you the building is still there. It doesn't like the Hollywood Video is not in it anymore, but it's still there. Let's see the free DVDs from Pizza Hut, Bill and Teddy, Ted's Boy, the candy at the movie store. My mom wouldn't let me look at. We have candy at home. Yeah, you always had the candy at home, right? First of all, that candy was, I mean, you didn't understand that as a kid, right? But they'd be selling Skittles for like $5 a bag or some shit at like Hollywood Video or like Blockbuster, right? Yeah. But you need to go home and get the candy that you got from Halloween last year. Exactly. You guys gotta get the candy you got from Halloween last year. Okay. I don't care if it's July. Okay. I don't care if it's July. All right. We got candy at home. Okay. If you wanted new candy, you should have picked up the new candy. Okay. You should have eaten all the candy you had at home. Okay. You got the candy with the razor blades in it at home. Okay. You got the candy with the razor blades in it at home. Thank you so much, Tatted. I appreciate that. Y'all remember that whole thing? Had everybody scared to go get Halloween candy because there was razor blades in it. Guys, I just thought I'd let you know. Just thought I'd let you know. Okay. Just thought I'd let you know. All right. I hope you're enjoying this conversation. I really do hope that you're enjoying this conversation. If you're enjoying this conversation, okay, please, you need to go make sure you make your appointments with your doctor. Okay. Get all your tests done. Okay. All right. You still think you can go out to the clubs or play ball with the young? You can't, go get your tests, okay? Go get them. They're needed, okay? Yeah, go get your single shot. I'm sure a lot of y'all are due for colonoscopies, all right? Cancer screenings, all those things. Okay? Go get your tests. you ain't young no more, okay? If you're enjoying this conversation, all right? Then I need to let you know, okay? You're probably overdue that CAT scan, okay? You're probably overdue. Okay? I'm just warning you. Thank you all so much to be here. Well, yeah, mammograms too. Don't you forget that. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you guys. If you feel called out, good. I might have just saved your life, and I'm not even playing right there. Okay, I might just saved your life. If it just to be sure, we are going to open up these phone lines, open up this debate box. The Strait of Hormuz may or may not have mines in it today, depending on who you're asking. Okay, but just give me 1 second because I realized I just forgot something over here real quick. Let me grab it and then we will get this thing going. All right, sorry about that. Well, welcome to the live. I really appreciate everybody being here today. We are just getting this thing moving, getting this thing started. Make sure if you guys are new here, you guys hit that follow button, you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Sorry, I'll try to stay a correct difference from my microphone as I talk over here. Try to balance that thing out so I'm not doing one of these. Make sure you guys are checking out the videos, checking out the content. Make sure you guys have, if you guys are here and you don't have your notifications turned on so you know when I go live, please correct yourself. Please, 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 so you know when I'm going live. Also, if you haven't joined the Discord, so you can see when I pop on, I have been trying to post early when I'm going on today. I did forget today, so I apologize for that, especially since we're on a little early. But I will be on again tomorrow, and I'm going to try to aim for 7 p.m. Eastern again tomorrow. So try not to miss it. Try to turn the notifications on, all that sort of stuff, so we know what's going on. If you still support Trump, you can get a hold of me by calling in on the phone number that's on my screen. That is the best way to get a hold of me. You can join the guest request box also, but I just let you know I will most likely prioritize the phone calls over that because it makes it fair for everybody that's here, no matter which platform you're on. Sorry, this is what I actually had to go get. But if you would like to support the live, again, I really appreciate it. First, hit that like button. If you guys are over on the TikTok side, let's get this thing up to 50,000 likes. I really appreciate that. For the YouTube side, you only have to hit that button once. So there's literally no excuse for you not doing it because you only have to hit it literally once. Okay, but come on in, say some chats. If you'd like to support in other ways, which is of course just above and beyond. But if you'd like support in other ways, one sec. If you'd like support in other ways, we also have super chats, super stickers. We like to throw those up on the screen and talk about those. We also have pay links in the bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at PollyPolitics, just like my name. I also have my live gift goal and even cooler, my gift gallery. So if you'd like to support over there, you can go up, click my little face, go down, hit my gift gallery, find out what I have there, and try to help me clear it out. If you would like to go above and beyond and help the live, that is very, very appreciated. Of course, there's no necessity to do that. And if you don't have the ability to do it, please don't. I understand that Donald Trump's economy is hurting all of us. So only if you can and only if you can help support the live, it definitely does help me to keep doing this every single day. So I really, really do appreciate that. I made the little hearts, the live gift goal over here, because that is one of the little gift gallery things we have for the day. And I think it's like 5 of them from one person or something like that. But hey, if we hit it, we hit it. If we don't, we don't. We have just been kind of on a roll hitting them, and I would love to I'd hate to miss out on a week for that. So I had some of the craziest notifications today. I'll tell you what. I was doing a video creation, all that sort of stuff. If you haven't seen my new video today, definitely check it out. It's some great, it's some fun stuff on Pete Hegseth and how he might be visiting Kristi Noem's South Dakota ranch sometime soon. And he's probably going to become the special envoy to Mercury or something to that effect because he went against Trump. So who knows what kind of hole they're going to stick him in later. But it was kind of crazy because I got almost back to back notifications today, which confused me. And I honestly don't know who to believe. And I was thinking about that. I was really thinking about that earlier because I was like, you know, it is a shame that I don't know who to believe. It really is a shame because I got a notification that immediately said, Iran is laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. And my first reaction to that, as soon as I heard it, was kind of surprising they took that long. Interesting. You know what I'm saying? I would have thought that they would have done that earlier, but hey, you know, is what it is. All right. And then I don't know if it was but 5 minutes later, the White House comes out and says it has destroyed 10, I think maybe it was even 16 mine laying vessels in the strait. All right. Now, I want to start with I am in no way a naval expert. Okay. I do not pretend to be a naval expert. All right. So first of all, I didn't know that we had mine laying vessels. I just assumed any vessel that could have mines on it, you just be tossing the mines off the side, they'd be going down. Didn't know there was mine laying vessels. So that one's on me. Okay. Second of all, my question was, why did the US military not hit those first? Right? Seems like that would have been a great place for them to start, you know, right? With the things that could block off the strait. That's the biggest, you know, one of the biggest trade routes in the world. That was my next thought. And then my third thought, it was, why do I not know who's telling the truth? Why do I not know whether they're telling the truth or not? How do I know this? Okay. How do I know? Why am I questioning whether or not Iran is telling the truth or the Trump administration is telling the truth? Don't you guys see that as a huge problem? Iran is just pieces of shit, right? Like the Ayatollah, just horrible people, human rights violations, all of it. And I don't know who's lying. I have no idea who's lying. And I just think that that's a sad place. It's just a sad place that we live in, right? I have to question it. I would love, and that, you know, and throughout our history, there's been so many times when we've believed presidential administrations, even when they were lying, right? Even when they were lying. I'm thinking about weapons of mass destruction, right? Like, no one even really questioned it. Yep, it was just, oh, they said they got WMDs, send the troops, we got to get them, like right now. You know, it wasn't until later that we went back and then it was like, oh, they were lying to us. That's crazy. But we had this ideal that it was like the administrations for the most part wouldn't just lie to the American people, right? Like that. Like they would generally tell us things, you know, like that, like immediately. And we've gotten so far into this because like now the Trump administration is out there saying, oh, well, sorry, not even the Trump administration. That's the crazy part. But Trump is out there saying, oh, yeah, that missile that hit that school, that wasn't even ours. That was probably Iran's. And so just the thing that you have to be able to believe that, which is crazy, right, is you have to believe that the war started and the first thing on Iran's mind, right? The first thing was like, we're going to Tomahawk missile a school on our own military base. Like, I know Iran is not the best people, okay? Some of the worst people on the planet. Horrible people, to be completely honest with you. But you also kind of have to think they're a little smarter than that, right? I would hope. Does anyone believe that? And here's the second reason I know it's true. Is because the Trump administration has believed all, like, the Trump administration has been behind Trump on all the craziest shit that he said. On all the craziest shit that he said. But when he was on that plane and he looked over at Pete Hegseth and he was like, yeah, Pete, we think it's Iran, right? And Pete Hegseth was like, I mean, we're investigating. So this is the lie that's too big for you? This is where you draw the line? This is where you're like, no more. This is where you decide to stand up and grow up hair. I mean, I guess good on you. And for putting the line someplace. But still. And yeah, I think that there's a good possibility it was on accident. I don't believe anybody in the United States tried to do that, right? But to just come out and just blatantly lie and just say it was Iran right off the bat, right? To just lie just right off the bat makes me really just not believe most of what you're saying. Oh, excuse me. I'll give another example of something I'm not sure I believe. Today I got a notification saying that 140 soldiers had been injured, with, I believe it said 8 severely injured since the beginning of the conflict, since the beginning of the war. Wait, 140? How are we? This didn't happen today. Are we not getting correct casualty counts? Are you hiding casualty counts from the American people, from US Congress? Like, is that what we're doing now? Do we know? How are we having to question this? Well, now that I know it's 140 and you haven't been telling me the whole time, then how do I know if that number's actually accurate? It's just a lot to think about, right? It's just a lot to think about. And it just makes me sad. And really, truly, it makes me sad. Right? That we are so far into the point, right, where you have a group of Americans who will believe whatever Donald Trump says. No matter whether it's logical, no matter whether it makes any kind of sense, they'll still believe it. Right? And then call it crazy. Right? And then call it crazy when we question it, when there's just obvious things that don't make sense. Just obvious things that don't make sense. It's just really unfortunate. And that's what's been on my mind today. I'm not saying I have like, I don't know if this was anything that's like groundbreaking to you guys. I'm not breaking any news right now. Okay? I don't think anything I'm saying to you is like a surprise, right? It's just the inability that the Trump administration's ability to lie without any repercussion, without any like empathy, without any thought in doing so, should just scare all of us, right? I want to go into one more thing that I was looking into today because I thought it was super interesting. But I did want to bring this up real quick. And Ted has said, depending on the type of mine, you can do it with a regular boat, but with bigger ones, you'll need a ship. Just a Navy vet. Okay, yeah, no, I assumed it always took a ship. Okay, that was my assumption. All right. The way they're saying it is there are ships specifically built for this. That's what I don't know about. Is it ships whose entire jobs are just laying mines? I don't know. I don't know that answer. All right. Yo, please make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're going to keep this thing going. Again, y'all, if you still support Trump, you can get a hold of me. And the best way to do so is by the phone number that's above my head and calling in on that. Also, I do have super chats, super stickers, all that fun stuff. Pay links in the bio if you'd like to support. I appreciate that also. Just like Infamous, who said, Hail Satan, Hail Satan. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Courtney, thank you so much for the $5. Said, Paulie, he tried to hide COVID deaths. Are we really surprised? It's not surprise. Right? It's not surprise. I think surprise is the wrong word. Because I'm not surprised by these things Donald Trump are doing. I'm not surprised by it. Donald Trump has continually done things like this forever. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm just surprised that the American people are still allowing it to happen. That the American people still haven't just completely stood up, and Congress is included in that. Our judiciary is included in that. Right? That Congress hasn't stood up and gone, we're not going to let the president of the United States, regardless of which party he belongs to, we're not going to let the president of the United States do this to the American people. That's what I think shocks me. That's what I think shocks me. Like when I'll give you an example. I'll give you another example. Okay. Like just real quick. So we were just talking about the boats in the strait, right? We were just talking about the boats in the strait. Thank you so much, Courtney, by the way. I really appreciate that. And Dawn, thank you so much for the $1 too. I really appreciate that. We were talking about them bombing the boats in the Strait of Hormuz, right? When they bombed the boats, my thought process wasn't, oh, he's doing that as a good war tactic. It's he's doing that so his rich friends don't lose money in the stock market. That's what I thought. And I'm pretty sure I'm right. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it's so market futures don't fall or oil futures just freaking skyrocket. I'm pretty sure that's the reason. Right? But regardless of any of this, even if you believe, okay, even if you believe that the Trump administration has the right to do this war, right, without congressional approval, even if you believe that, okay, it's not true, but even if you believe it, okay, you should still want Congress to have oversight on it, right? You should still want Congress to make sure that the administration is telling you good intel, that we're completing our objectives that don't exist, right? That we're getting good casualty counts. I think I might have already said that one, but regardless. All right. We should still want Congress to be checking the president because that's why he's there. And you should believe that regardless of whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, non-party affiliated, Green Party, Libertarian. I don't care what political ideology. Hell, you could be a communist. You could be, I don't care what you are. Okay? Our government was set up on a system of checks and balances. Right? Where one person doesn't have autocratic control over the nation to be able to just make decisions on a whim. Everything should be checked. Everything should be scrutinized. Okay. Guess what? If there's a Democratic president next, I want Congress to make sure they're acting right. I want Congress to make sure they're acting right. That is important. And the fact that our Congress has just completely given up on that fact, right? The fact that our Congress has completely just laid down, rolled over, like, thank you, Daddy, can I have another? And just let the president just do what the fuck ever is sad. And if you voted for those representatives in Congress, specifically the Republican ones, but there's a few Democrats out there who are helping them out. Fetterman. Okay. If you voted for these people, all right, or if you didn't vote in your congressional district and one of these people won and is in there doing that, then you need to fix yourself. You need to get out there and make sure you're voting, and you need to make sure that your friends are voting so that these representatives don't do that anymore. And it's not dead party lines, right? There's your Fettermans on the Democratic Party who are helping Donald Trump do this. And then there's your Thomas Masseys, right, in your Republicans who are fighting against a lot of what Donald Trump has done. Right? You have, like, literally, I'm not trying to listen to this like there's good people on both sides. I'm not trying to do that whole thing, right? You guys can dislike Massey all you want. He's the only person on the Republican Party that's doing fuck all to try to do anything against Trump. Y'all can dislike Massey all you want, okay? I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm saying he's one of the only dudes on that freaking side of the fence who is actually trying to do stuff the right way. Okay? We're not at, is all of his policies good? Is everything he's doing correct? Does he have the best voting record? Right now, my standard is, are you trying to do things according to the Constitution? If you're doing that, you're already doing great. You are so far ahead, right? You are so far ahead of everybody else. If you have any standards at all, you are light years above everybody else. Light years. Okay? Tom Tillis has done some crazy shit. Okay? But if all of y'all didn't watch that video, okay, of him fucking up Kristi Noem and go, God damn, at least somebody's doing something. If y'all didn't watch that video and go, hell, at least somebody is doing something, then I can't help you, dude. Because I sure did. I literally watched that whole thing through and went, hell, at least somebody is doing something, man. Is it enough? No, but it's something. And at this point, shit, dude. What else do you want from me? Like, what else do you want? Like, what else am I supposed to do? He went in there and fucked her up, dude. What we need is more of that, right? I've said this so many times, right? I've said this so many times. As a black man and a black creator, I do not expect that only black people are talking about the rights of black people. I try on my live, like here, right? I try very, very hard to stand up for women, for people of the LGBTQ plus community, even though I am neither of those things. Okay? Because I believe that if you just leave it to the group of people that needs help, if that's the only people doing it, then your movement will fail. Right? Like, and I truly believe that. I don't believe that black people got rights in this country because only black people went and got them. I think it was white people that helped them, a certain number of them. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that women completely got rights just because of women, but also because there was a percentage of men that went out there and helped them. Right? And so I truly do believe that. All right. So when it comes to these type of things, right, it can't just be the Democrats and be specifically the people that we agree with politically that we need to help stop this. We need people that we disagree with to help us fight this. Okay? And so when Thomas Massie helps us fight, I see that as a good thing. I don't need to check him on every single thing he does. If he's helping us fight against this, then fucking we're cool for the moment. When we get sanity back in the White House, then we'll start fighting about the particulars again. All right? When we stop being on fucking like if we can all agree the fascist dictator is bad, okay, then we can argue on how we reduce the budget later. Okay? But the Democrats don't have any power in Congress right now. They don't. Okay? So if you're expecting just Democrats and just people, okay, that you agree with, if you're expecting just Democrats and just people that you agree with, all right, to fix this problem, then guess what? Your problem's not going to be fixed. Okay? Then your problem is not going to be fixed. Sorry to break it to you. Okay? There's going to be some people that probably vote for some pretty racist shit and some shit probably against women that y'all don't like. And for a second, we're going to have to get along. And then we'll deal with like, we're going to have to get along before Donald Trump destroys America and then we don't have a democracy to come back to. Right? There's like, I was listening to some stuff this morning. I'm not even going to say where I was listening to it, but I was listening to it on the social media someplace. Okay? I was on the social medias today listening to some people for quite a while because I actually do, I do think it's necessary to listen to this type of stuff. And was a bunch of people talking about how in Texas, they're not going to be voting for James Tallarico. Democrats that aren't going to be voting for James Tallarico. And I listened to it for a while, right? Because they were mad about Jasmine Crockett not winning. And I've already gone on my diatribe about that on here, right? I've talked about that I've already talked about that in depth on here, okay? And how I feel about that situation. Okay? So I'm not gonna deep dive all the way back into it again. All right? So you're not gonna vote for James Tallarico because you think he might be like Fetterman. And so therefore, you're going to allow someone like Ken Paxton to win. Oh, then you're a piece of shit. Then you're a piece of shit. Sorry. I said what I said. Then you're a piece of shit. There's nothing else to say there, okay? Even if Tallarico is Fetterman, that is still better than Paxton. So what are you doing? You're going to throw a temper tantrum? You're gonna throw a temper tantrum like a child because you didn't get your way? And you're gonna let somebody worse for America into office? You're gonna let someone worse for America into office because you didn't get your way on a single candidate? Cool. Then you're a piece of shit. I got nothing else to say about it, dude. Then I got nothing else to say about it. Okay? You don't have to, and you don't have to agree with Tallarico. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? I'm not saying you have to agree with Tallarico. I'm not. All right? Not saying that in the slightest. Okay? But if you're willing to let the other side win, right? To let somebody like Ken Paxton win, someone like Cornyn to win, because you want to act like a child and throw a temper tantrum? Okay? As opposed to Tallarico, who, again, y'all say he's going to be a Fetterman. I don't agree with that at all. Okay? But even if he was a Fetterman, Fetterman is still better than those two. So I don't know what to tell you. If I will tell you this, if that's what your thought process is, then you don't care about this country, okay? You don't care about America. You don't care about democracy. You don't care about the Constitution. You don't care about any of these things, okay? You simply don't. You don't care about any of these things, okay? You only care about getting your way and getting your way the way that you want to. You're a child. Okay? You're 100% a child. Okay? So, and I listened to it for a long time today. I listened to a whole bunch of whining. And it's sad. Okay? It really, really is sad. So, anyways, hopefully everybody's doing well today. I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys so much. I'm just over here ranting for a bit while we wait on some Trump supporters to come on in and have some conversation. Which I'm sure they will soon. We're just waiting on a few of them to, that's possible too. We're waiting on some Trump supporters calling, but if you do still support Trump, you can reach me by calling in the number that's above my head. That is the best way to get into the conversation. You can have a conversation with me about doing this. I have one more thing I actually did want to rant about, but if you would like to support, I do have super chats. I do have super stickers. I have my live gift goal. I have my gift gallery. Thank you so much, I think it was Tori, for clearing out my gift gallery with the hearts over here. I really appreciate that. Big W's in the chat for Tori for getting me one step closer to that gift gallery. So I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I am going to turn on my Tor. Sorry. Hey, Tor. Sorry. I that was pretty close. Okay. You have to give me a break because I was going off of memory. All right. We're going to keep this thing going. I have to turn my fan because it is super hot. And then we have a couple people in the guest request box. We'll see if anybody wants to pull up. You know, I turned my fan on before the live started and it was too cold. And then I turned it off and now I'm dying of heat stroke, I'm pretty sure. Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to join.
No worries. Have a good one. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm not opposition. Oh.
All right, man. No worries. All right. What's the temp in here? Too damn hot. Way too damn hot. Ari messaged me and said, running theory is that Bondi will be yeeted and Paxton will be pulled for her next AG. That's great. All right. That's great. You know what? I was thinking, I was like, man, I wonder if we can get somebody in worse than Pam Bondi. And I was really wondering that. So thank you, Ari. I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate letting me know that it can get worse. That it actually can get worse. I do really appreciate that. That's awesome. You think they can find someone better than Ken Paxton if he drops out? Someone even worse? Is he gonna get like the actual devil? No, I think the actual devil would be better. Herschel Walker for AG. The My Pillow guy was it Mike Lindell. Hello. we're gonna get Mike Lindell. Oh my goodness, that I don't know if Mike Lindell is actually worse or better than Ken Paxton, to be completely honest with you. He's so stupid, I'm not even sure he could pull off enough to be dangerous. If you want to be completely honest. I'm not sure he has the brain cells to actually do any harm. See, what's dangerous, okay, what's dangerous is that when you're smart and don't have morals. That's when you're scary. JD Vance is a perfect example of that. When you're intelligent and lack all morals, that's when you really have some issues. If you're just too dumb to know where you're at, it's hard to like do any damage. You're just kind of floating around in the world. Again, y'all, if you want to have a conversation with me or debate or banter, please call on the number that's above my head. I appreciate that. Dawn, thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate that. Scott said, Polly, YouTube Seth Meyers, a closer look. Okay, I'll check that out later. That sounds like fun. We can definitely do that. Yeah, JD Vance, Stephen Miller, those guys are smart and devious. Those are the people that are that scare me so much more than Mike Lindell or Alex Jones, right? That's much scarier to me. Sorry, I don't know if that's true or not, but it just said the Baltimore Ravens backed out of the deal for Max Crosby. So sorry, had to check that real quick. I don't know if it's true or not. Hello, how are you?
Hey, Polly, how are you, man?
I'm good. You say that like a friendly.
I am.
All right.
You just said, well, and if you wanted to have a conversation or something, and calling to say hello.
All right. Well, hello.
Always hitting the points, and I appreciate, bro. I wish I could be on like right behind you doing the same thing, you know.
Well, if you were right behind me in my house, I'd be very, very scared, sir.
No, but I'm saying like in a political sense, like you're a beast, bro.
I would have to. I'd probably have to call the police, okay? Unless you were invited in. If you knocked first, I'd probably just let you in.
Nah, but I didn't mean it. No, I didn't mean it like that. But you got what I'm saying.
I know,
Love you, man.
Appreciate you, man. You have a good one. I appreciate you. You have a good one. Oh, wow. Whoa, I'm getting another call. I was about to start ranting again, so you got lucky. Once I start ranting again, I'm not going to let any of you Trump supporters talk to me for a second. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
I'm 29.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Well, can I talk for a little bit and to explain why? It would just take me a short moment.
Yeah, send it. Why not?
Okay, so where I'm from is in Eastern Kentucky, and like coal isn't just a talking point on the news. It's how families survive, like where I'm from.
Hold on. Sorry.
When
I don't mean
Donald
to cut you
Trump
off. What's
signed,
not just a talking point? I literally couldn't understand you.
coal.
Coal? Coal. You're saying coal?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
yes,
Continue.
coal. Um, anyways, I feel like it's not isn't just like a talking point on the news. It's how families, like we survive. When Donald Trump signed executive orders rolling back regulations on coal and supporting the coal industry, it meant jobs stayed around here for many people that I know, love dearly. And my father was a coal miner for 40 plus years. My husband's a coal miner. He's been in the coal mines for 20 years. It meant people I know, my family, my neighbors, like had a chance to keep working and putting food on the table. People in big cities may not see the impact, but in Appalachia, coal towns, the policies about the coal directly affect whether our communities live or die economically, basically. So whenever I say these policies that he did helped my family, I really mean it. Like I'm talking about real paychecks, real jobs, and real stability. Um, like people can debate politics all day, but the policies and the executive order that Donald Trump put in supported coal, and it helped. It helped families paying bills, put food on the table. It's just not about politics to us. And I feel like people who've never lived in a coal town love to talk about shutting down coal like completely. I get that. Here, that's not the theory. That's literally people losing their homes and their livelihoods. Policies from Donald Trump supported coal, and that's all I got to say to like wrap it up.
Okay, yeah, and no, I can completely understand that, and honestly, I do empathize with it. But I think I just have a disagreement on the fix to it, right? So regardless of whether you have it, you live in a spot that is predominantly coal, right? That predominantly coal miners and all that sort of stuff. You might see the fix to it to be, well, we need to ramp up, we need to keep mining coal, right? But at the end of the day, like coal usage is down in the United States. It's significantly down in the United States, and it's not going to go back up, right? It's actually going to continue to go back down. Right. So regardless of whether he reduces regulation or does any of these things, coal is just an energy source that is starting to fade out. Well, sorry, it started to fade out a couple decades ago, and it's actually getting towards its end where it's just fading out more. So while you might see the solution as, oh, we just need to do more coal, I think the solution is actually finding better energy sources, right, that can be put into those communities to be able to replace those jobs so that those jobs, A, pay more, B, are not only pay more, but they're less detrimental to people's health, and they're more long lasting, right? And so I would rather see all of those people that work in the coal mines or work in the coal industry, or that benefit from the coal industry, to be able to have work in fields that that can last throughout further decades. That's not in a declining field. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I would just have to like disagree a little bit there. I know that it's been in a decline for a while, and it definitely got affected whenever Obama took office. Seen a lot just went through a lot. I was a child then, and I remember just a bunch of people around us. But anyways, this ain't about Obama. I get what you're saying, but like that's all we've known is coal, and like any job can be dangerous and hazardous. Anything can be.
Yeah, no, and I don't disagree with that. There's tons of jobs that happen in the United States that are dangerous and still are a necessity to happen in the United States, right? Like I always like watching those guys where where they climb the light poles to change a light bulb like twice a year, and it's like a mile and a half in the sky, and then change it. Like that job still needs to get done, right? They're just because something is I mean, hell, we have certain police, the military is something that is very necessary for us to have, and it's a very, very dangerous job. It doesn't mean that it should stop existing, right? The way I see it is more like the way that the horseshoe industry was affected by cars, right? Like the world just as a whole evolves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure when cars came out and cars became, readily available for your average person to buy, it absolutely wrecked people who breed horses, who, shoe horses, and all those people in all those industries around there, and absolutely destroyed it. But it doesn't mean that we should have stopped the development of cars or, halted the evolution of our transportation in the United States because it had a negative effect on the horse industry, right? And so I see it the same way as that, right? Like, we're seeing that a lot with electric cars right now, where people are like, oh, we don't have the infrastructure right now for electric cars. You're 100% right. Not you, but the people who say that, they're 100% right that we don't have the infrastructure for electric cars, right? But that doesn't mean that we should halt the production of electric cars because the infrastructure builds around the cars, right? We just simply have newer, better, cleaner forms of energy that people would prefer to use, right? That are cheaper, that are better for the planet, and we are going to move to those things. Whether it's in 40 years from now or 100 years from now, it won't be 100 years. It'll be, but we'll completely, or for the most part, completely stop using coal, right? So my question would be: what is the Trump administration doing to help people that live in coal communities to be able to move into careers while, that are actually helpful? Because like you said, when the Obama administration came in, we already saw a huge reduction in the use of coal, which means that I assume that a lot of people in your communities lost their jobs, right? And
my father was one. I remember we went without, like, it was, I was old enough to remember it.
Yeah. And I'm agreeing with you. I assume that happened, right? I'm actually looking at the charts right now, and you're 100% right that our main, reduction in coal usage in the United States happened around 2008, 2009. So right around the time that Obama came in, right? And so you're 100% right? As far as by the end user, and now granted, I don't know how Obama could have affected that so quickly. But regardless, it was around the time that Obama came into office. That is true, that we saw a huge reduction, right? So what I'm saying is, what happened to your father and all the other people that lost their jobs, when we started reducing coal usage? What happened to them then?
He was a mine supervisor at the time, and he was like he was over Tico Co at one point in time. I had a great childhood growing up. Other than, I watched my parents like literally almost fall apart, because that's all we know. And, it's like right now, if my husband was to lose his job, me and my children, we would probably lose everything. Not everything. We own our home and stuff, but we would lose, other things that would, like a vehicle. We only pay on one vehicle. It's just, it's very, I guess being from here is a very touchy subject because it's all that I've known. Like, I come from a coal miner. My husband's now one. And I don't think that I hope that he is retired by then. He's been in the mines for 20 years. And I hope that I don't see it in my lifetime. I know it is in a steady decline. Obviously it has been. But, I'm always for coal. I support coal 100%, and I will always back it up.
Yeah, and ma'am, I don't want your husband to lose his job either. Okay, like, first, I don't want your husband to lose his job. I don't want your family to be in a rough spot. I don't want any of that. I think that would be horrible. Okay, what I'm saying is that, and how old did you say you were? You said you were in your 50s, right?
No, I'm 29.
You're 29. I'm sorry. I think was I talking to in their 50s? Sorry, I get confused. I talk to a lot of people. I apologize.
He's been in the coal mine since he was 17. He's older than me.
Oh, okay. Well, you're in your 20s, okay? And so you say he's been there since 17, and he's so he'd be in his late 30s, so he's about my age, right?
Oh, he's been in the coal mines since he was 17. He is 38.
Yeah, so I'm 39, so about my age, right? And that's what I was saying, right? So, and maybe I misheard that. What I'm saying is, okay, that just based off the decline. So, like, say that Trump comes in there, and for the next 3 years, he deregulates coal mining. He deregulates, coal usage in the United States. Which I am going to let you know that, like, it's not like, even if he does, people just don't like the end users don't want to use coal, right? So like even if he deregulates, it's not really gonna like spike up significantly, right? It might plateau where it's at, you know. But say the next president comes in 3 years and goes, okay, well, cool, we're just done with all of this and we're going to just completely slash coal production again. Then what does your husband do?
We will suffer.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want you to suffer, right? I don't, right? What I'm saying is like, I think you and I both know that that's a possibility, right? And if it's not
Absolutely.
a possibility in the next 3 years, right? Do you have kids?
Yes, we have 3.
Awesome. So there's a strong possibility that that is not a future for your kids, right? Because if it doesn't happen with the next president, it'll happen with the next president after that, or the next president after that. And it's still going to happen. Whether it directly affects your husbands, it'll affect your kids, it'll affect somebody, right? Because coal is going away. What I support is educational opportunities, right? What I support is job training. What I support is trades, trade schools, and I support those all being, being funded by the government, right? In order to make sure that, whether it's your husband or your kids or whoever it is, has the opportunity to move into another career field, right? Another industry that can still sustain your guys' family at the same pay rate, if not higher, at the same quality of living that's not coal, right? Because we just know that coal is going away, right? And that is just what is happening. All right. And that's not me saying not even advocating it or being against it. It is just a matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? So what I want is sustainable jobs in the United States that pay people a good living, that doesn't require a college degree, where they can work, where they can help out their families and support their families, preferably on a single income household like it used to be, right? But not anymore, right? And that's why it scares me so much, because while you're talking about like deregulation in of the coal industry, the Trump administration lost another 92,000 jobs last month. I'm sorry. 92,000 jobs last month, right? June, they lost more, the first time we lost jobs since COVID, right? At 5 of the last 12 months, we've lost jobs in the United States, right? So what we're seeing is, if it's not just directly the coal industry, it is a lot of other industries, right? The unemployment rate went up to 4.4%, right? So now what that's saying is, guess what? If something happens and coal is no longer a viable option for you or your family to work in, now there's not other jobs for any of them to step into, right? And without, having,
it's all he's known, I mean, he literally dropped out of high school to go work at 17 years old.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay, I understand that. But the truth of the matter is what I'm saying is still true, right? And I think it's true, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to bullshit you.
I just come on here to, express why I supported him on the policies and the executive order that he signed over coal.
Well, I'll let you know this, okay? You're only 29, okay? Your husband's only 38, okay? It is not too late in life to change career paths, right? And if he's been working in the mines, right, since he was 17 years old, then I assume he's a very hardworking gentleman, all right? That's something I couldn't do, okay? So he's gonna be all right, I'm pretty sure, as long as the opportunities are out there for him to be all right, right? Like he's going to be okay as long as, as a hardworking, man that worked a job that's harder than I thought working in roofing in Palm Springs, right, in the summer was hard, but I assume coal mining is even harder. But if you're a hard worker, then you're going to be okay, as long as there are job opportunities, as long as there are, educational opportunities, trade schools and trade skills to learn. As long as all of that stuff exists, your husband's going to be great. But Donald Trump is taking away those opportunities, right? He's dismantling the Department of Education. He's shedding jobs. All that stuff.
Whenever you know, you talk about like there may be opportunities. That's what a lot of people here in our community, like in Eastern and Appalachia, resort to is the coal mines because it's a well-paying job. If you're like advanced in it, you definitely make a lot of money.
But it's not the only good paying job, right?
Well, there's no the closest factory to like where I live at is 3 hours away. There's no factories. There's literally nothing around us.
So it'd be better if there was factories.
I think so, yes.
I
because
agree.
that
So
would
what's
bring in a
Donald
whole
Trump
lot of
doing
jobs.
to get new factories and stuff in those areas, or getting opportunities to those areas? That's what I'm asking, ma'am. It's not, are there currently any opportunities? It's why aren't there currently more opportunities? And how do we get those
Well, I mean,
opportunities
it's
there?
always been this way ever since, you know, it's remained the same here.
Well, just because it's always been a way doesn't mean it has to stay that way, right?
It's always been, no matter, I mean, it's been this way for years.
Yeah, well, and what, like I said, what I'm saying is just because it has been a certain way doesn't mean it has to stay that way, right? We can make things better.
And then also, I want to bring up the point that people tell us, like whenever I brought up this topic before, people tell us, well, why don't you just pack up and move? Well,
because it's not
that's
that
a lot
easy.
easier said than done because, for one, why would we move whenever we own our home and we got land
I agree.
and we're around our family?
I always hate when people say pack up and move. That's something that is not easy, right? And I think that anybody whose first step to it is just get up and move lives in a place of privilege that I don't think most of us do, right? Like even myself, and I don't live in Appalachia or Eastern Kentucky, where I believe you said where you live, right?
Yes.
I don't live in a situation where just on a moment's notice I can just get up and move, right? I also own a house, right? I also have roots and all that sort of stuff. You can't just do that. That's difficult. I don't want you to get up and move. I want an administration that's bringing jobs to you.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully, like I said, during our lifetime, I hope that he's able to retire and we'll be sitting on our front porch together and just remaining to grow old.
Well, I hope you get that opportunity too. And I hope your kids have opportunities to make sure that they get jobs that are in other fields that win ones that aren't declining in the United States. I hope that too. I truly do. Okay.
I got 3 little ones, and my oldest, she is very firm on going into nursing. I told her that was a good, because I was in nursing, so she thinks she's going. I think she's pretty head set on she's going into nursing. So
that's good. Very, very noble career. Very noble career. All right, I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a wonderful one. All right.
Thank you for talking to me. You have a good day.
You too. Yeah, I always hate when people jump to that like, oh, just get up and move. That's horrible, dude. Most of y'all can't even move, right? Most of y'all can't do it, right? So don't be telling people to move. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's messed up. But see, here's my issue, and I do want to say this just because it is important, right? And she's saying her daughter wants to go into nursing, and you're right. We do need more nurses. We always need more nurses. Nurses are incredibly important in the United States, right? But Donald Trump, took them off the list of professionals, right? Fucked with their student loans. We lost 28,000 healthcare jobs just last month. 28,000 healthcare jobs reported just in the jobs report from last month, right? He got rid of, the ACA subsidies. He's cutting Medicaid, which is closing hospitals, right? Especially rural hospitals in places like what she's talking about, specifically like getting rid of those healthcare jobs, making it harder for people to get out of situations like that. And it's hard. It's hard. So I know that, and I really can truly empathize. I really can truly empathize with somebody who relies on a certain industry and that industry starts to go away, right? I truly can. Okay. And that sucks, right? And like I told her from the get-go, it's not a matter of whether of that. It's a matter of how do we fix it? And I think we just have a different opinion on how we fix it, right? Thank you guys so much for being here. That was actually a very nice conversation. Can we get some W's in the chat for the guest? That was actually a very nice, calm conversation. I don't get those very often. So can we just get W's in the chat for a caller? That was a very nice conversation, and I don't get those too often. Please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on those notifications. We do this every single Sunday through Thursday. Sometimes I sneak in a Friday or Saturday one too. Excuse me, but please hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and that way we can keep going. If you guys would like to support the live, I do have three more hearts over here to clear out this live gift goal before we move on to whatever is else in the gift gallery. So if you'd like to support, I really appreciate that. I also have super chats, super stickers, all that sort of stuff. And I like to throw those on the screen, which we're going to go through a few of those real quick before we move on to the next caller. So thank you guys so much for being here. I also have pay links in the bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics. Just like my name. Also, apparently there's shots at Rihanna's house. So not good. But thank you so much. Capo, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. I did not catch who got them. It was yesterday. I didn't even know. Thank you so much for the. Sorry, I don't follow. I'm not up to date on my Rihanna news. I apologize. Little busy dealing with politics and whole war and stuff. My bad. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships, Capo. I really appreciate that. I didn't get to see who was getting because I was in conversation, but thank you so much. Infamous said maybe go into a different industry besides cool is just a thought. Oh, again, and Infamous, like I said before, it's not a matter. Yes, go into a different industry, 100%. Is that available? Right? Is that available? Maybe not where they're at. It might be harder than it looks, right? I mean, remember, a lot of us live in nice blue places where there's actually jobs. Just being honest, right? But thank you so much, Infamous. I appreciate it. Don, thank you so much for the $2 and the $1. Thank you so much, Don. Scott, thank you so much for the $5. Said Hegseth uses enough hair gel so it doesn't need an army. Bullets just be bouncing off that thing. Just That's so stupid. Thank you so much, Scott. And Tad said Trump loves minors. He thinks the coal ones are pretty cool too, right? Oh, God, Tadded's been on one lately, dude. Tadded has been on one. I'm telling you, dude. Tadded's been on one. Tadded's been killing me, man. Tadded's been getting me. Thank you so much, Tadded. Big W's in chat for everybody who helped support, and we just cleared off all those hearts. I really appreciate that too. Thank you so much. We're gonna keep this thing going, and looks like we have some people trying to call in, so we'll open up these phone lines. Yeah, minors, not minors, Hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you? All right. Well, we got him with the hard question. Sometimes you got to throw all the tough questions out there first. Just to, just to see if you can get them. The one thing about this show, y'all, we're throwing out the hard hitting questions. Okay. Like, how old are you? The real rough ones. All right. We're going to keep this thing going. Is my phone even ringing? It's saying there's a lot of calls coming in, and then there's like, it's not ringing. I don't know if it might not be ringing or not. Oh, yeah. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do not. I don't, but I just had a question because I was listening to that last caller that came and I thought that was a great conversation. But I was just wondering, what do you think we can do other than formats like this to better talk to people and get everybody on the same page, or at least like have political conversations and make that a little bit easier within society?
Yeah, I think that you just have to have honest conversations with the people around you, right? Like, I think that people get like we've had this culture in the United States where a lot of people just don't talk about politics, and I think it's important to talk about politics and to have these conversations. I've said this for a long time, and of course, the last guest, I'm not referencing when I talk about this, right? But I've said this for a long time, is that I have conversations with some of the hardest people on the planet to talk to, right? So that you guys can have a lot easier conversations with people that you work with, your family, all that sort of stuff. So I think the internet provides a once in a lifetime opportunity to be able to reach out to lots of people and have these conversations. I think for everybody else, I think the important thing to do is to have conversations with those around you, vote, support your local electorates, right? Get out there and get good candidates. And if you are so inclined and have that bandwidth, and maybe run for office and become one of those candidates,
For sure. I think what's become hard in society, though, is the tolerance of dissenting opinions, right? And Obama actually talked about this in a YouTube interview that he did with Destin from Smarter Every Day about the importance of having dissenting voices in the room, right? And I think that the echo chambers that we're living in society make it different. And I've got, and I'm sure everybody on your channel has the same thing, where we've got family members who sit there and only watch Fox or Newsmax, right? And so that's their vision of reality, and they're missing whole stories, because some of the stuff that your callers bring up too, right? Like not everybody has seen those stories or even heard those events, because not everybody takes the time to seek out information from the left and from the right to really get that picture of what's actually happening in society. Yeah,
and you can't force people to do that, right? I mean, there's a reason why administrations like this and and other ones that have less about history do their best to try to make sure that people aren't educated, right? Because when you're educated, you question, and when you question, you find out the stuff is bullshit, right? And so, yeah, you do have a lot of people that live in these echo chambers, that stay in these echo chambers, and they're not going to leave, right? And unless you present them with some really, really good evidence and all sorts of stuff, they're probably not going to leave, right? So you just have to do your best to combat the misinformation. And again, you just got to get out there and vote, because there's more people that live outside of those echo chambers than live inside of them. You just gotta reach them, right?
Yeah, you think that's the norm, that more people are in the middle than what we see, or what kind of is presented to us.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to sit on here and to watch me debate, MAGAs and and I talk to like the crazy ones and the wild ones and all this sort of shit, right? And so it's easy to think that that's everybody, but that's not. You'd be surprised. And like I said, I live in a very like red area of the United States, and you'd be surprised how many times people that are red, right, that either work with me or know me or whatever, that live in some of those that kind of get most of their information from some of these echo chambers. They're not all the way in it. They hear stuff and they're like, that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd be surprised how many times I hear why are we going to war with Iran? Like, I thought we were America first. Like, I hear stuff like that all the time. And that's from people who voted for Trump, who are red, who are lifelong Republicans, like all of that stuff, right? So
Yeah, that's been my experience too. Is I've traveled around the country and like had many conversations with people, and I guess I've found that too, that people are generally a little more towards center than what you see and what the media shows. But thanks for your time. I'm gonna let you get back at it, because I actually want to hear some more of the dissenting voices and those people that we don't necessarily agree with.
Yep.
So
absolutely, man. You have a good one.
Time, sir.
Hot dog, thank you so much for the galaxy. I really, really appreciate that. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm excellent. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Please make sure you guys are still staying active in the chat, keeping the thing going, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. All right. So why do you still support Trump?
I would say, just to keep it short, I fell for some propaganda on why we did what we did to Iran. I thought it was for liberation, but with doing research, and now I understand the other country he's going after, I support Trump because he's building like an empire for America.
Because he's building an empire for America?
Yeah.
A, how is that the case? And B, even if it was the case, which it's not, how is that good?
Well, how's that the case? It's because I used to be like, why is he mentioning Canada and 51st state? Why is he bringing up Venezuela? Why is he bringing up Greenland? And then I realized, oh, you need resources for an empire. So for me, I'm like, well, that's what it is now. We're mentioning these other countries because we're gonna take it. Like that's ours. And what was your second question?
Okay, well, that's completely non-factual, but I said, why would that be a good thing?
He mentioned those countries. He mentioned Venezuela, Greenland, and Canada. He said 51st state.
And?
So that's going after an empire.
No, that's just being a moron. Nope, that's just being a moron. If he was going after an empire, we would have invaded Canada.
Well, 80% of Canada is uninhabited, so I feel like let's take that. Like they don't know what to do with it. Let's go. Like,
well, when we invade Canada, I'll agree with you.
Huh?
When we invade Canada, then I'll agree with you.
It doesn't have to be an invasion.
Yeah, for us to be empirical, it does. Yeah.
Especially from Alberta.
Yeah. In order for us to be empirical, it would be.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean though. Like the empire. I finally understand it now.
Doesn't sound like it.
How?
Which country have we taken over and made part of our empire?
I would say Venezuela.
Nope. They're still a sovereign nation, or at least semi-sovereign.
No, we took Maduro.
So what?
Clean as well.
So what do you think taking Maduro means that we own freaking Venezuela now? Do you think that's how it works? Do you think this is like a game of Risk or like some shit? Do you think we just like, if we can just take the leader, then we own it now? Do you think that's how empires are built? You think this is like,
basically,
do you think this is like a Viking empire, like invading like the British Empire? Is that what you think? That's just like, oh, if we capture the king, then we will take, like, yeah, this motherfucker thinks it's Game of Thrones, bro. Like, what are we doing here, dude? There ain't no dragons coming, man.
Well, I'm not even thinking like that. I'm just saying, for example, Puerto Rico. Isn't that, be honest, is that territory?
It is a territory of the United States.
I bet. So why can't Venezuela be our next territory? Why do you have to make it this whole Game of Thrones like crazy idea? Why can't we have?
Because you said we took their leader, so we own it now. That's what you said. That's the Game of Thrones shit, dude.
Let's own another Hawaii, man. Let's own another Puerto Rico. Like, what's this big like?
Have we done that?
So let's take more.
Okay, have we taken anything?
We're going to.
But have we?
We're witnessing firsthand.
But have we?
We're witnessing Maduro. We're witnessing Iran. We're witnessing Greenland.
But have we?
Huh?
Have we taken anything?
Not yet, but we're going.
So
to.
we're not empirical.
Yes, we are.
So do you
I
think
just told
Donald
you.
Trump is an emperor?
An emperor? No, I wouldn't. I would say America is going to be. Yeah.
America can't be an
That's the thing,
emperor. An emperor
Your
is a
PDS
person.
coming out because
Yeah.
if you notice, I'm not mentioning Trump. I'm mentioning America.
I
Your
didn't say
CBS
anything to
is
do
with
with
them, and
that.
you're
You
mentioning
actually
Trump.
did say that Donald Trump is trying to build an empire. And if Donald Trump
Well,
builds
isn't
an
he the president?
empire and he's the head of that empire, that would make him the emperor, right?
Great, but then in 3 years,
Right. So
he's
you
gone,
think
right?
Donald Trump wants to be an emperor? That's what I said.
No, because he's gone in 3 years, isn't he?
I don't know. We'll find out in 3 years.
What do you mean? Now you're scared he's gonna win a third time? Come on.
I don't think emperors really care about winning.
Yes, they do. That's why he won twice. He's here to win. He's here to take it off.
Yeah, he won twice, and the third one time he lost, he tried to steal it. Yeah.
You know what's one of my favorite songs? The Winner Takes It All. Do you know the lyrics? Of
Oh, I thought it would be like ba with the ba, da banga dang, diggy diggy, something something
No, the winner
boogie,
takes it
say
all.
up top the
I think you
boogie or
gotta
something
catch
like
up. The
that.
Winner Takes It All.
Something like that. Some Kid Rock song or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't really know all the lyrics.
Yeah, right. Because that was playing in Mar-a-Lago that night, right? Not Bad Bunny.
Oh yeah, even Donald Trump didn't want to watch freaking Kid Rock's lousy ass lip sync over something.
Yeah.
But
he
a ton
probably
of you
laughed
Trump
at that.
supporters did, so.
Yeah, he probably laughed at that. Yeah. If anything, I love that he's appreciating my culture. I think he just visited a Venezuela restaurant. And then he had that meeting with Rubio with those 11 Latin countries. And now he's promoting Rubio instead of Vance. I mean, and then he hires us for the White House. Like, I don't know, it's starting to feel good. I don't know.
Well, that's good, man. I'm glad your feelings are all feeling and stuff like that.
No, I feel like it's not just feelings.
You just said I feel good. That was literally the words you just
No,
said, sir.
But then
Sir, I
bring up
didn't bring up your
I brought up
feelings.
things that
You
actually happened.
literally just brought up your feelings.
Yeah, but then I brought up things that weren't my feelings. I brought up things that are facts.
Okay.
It's amazing. So maybe start talking about the empire instead of scaring people on your platform.
We don't have an empire, sir. We're not empirical anymore. We haven't been empirical a long time. We used to be empirical,
Okay, question.
and now we're not
What was the-
empirical anymore, sir. And if you're
What
saying
was
that Donald Trump
breakthrough
is
Iran recently that Trump said,
shh,
don't crash out.
shh,
The airline's going to receive more.
shh. Thank you. Okay. You're just making up this wild high thing about being empirical when I don't even think you understand what an empire is. And now you're drastically losing the argument. So now you're trying to make ad hom freaking comments at me, right?
I'm not
Because
I'm not here to win in a
I told you to be quiet while I'm talking. Okay? Just because your parents never disciplined you doesn't mean that I won't. Okay? Maybe if they had done a better job with you, then I wouldn't have to. All right. But now you're over here crashing out, having a whole time with yourself. Okay. Oh, we're an empire. Just stop. This is just sad. Okay. This is truly just sad. This is literally just sad. I don't think you can spell empire, honestly. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Just peachy. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
I don't understand what you guys have so against ICE and so many different topics.
Who's you guys?
The left, whole left, everybody on the left.
The whole left. I love ice, mostly in my lemonade.
Really?
Sometimes in my Sprite. Not in my water though.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
weird. Nobody that actually drinks water
Yeah.
likes ice in their water.
Yeah, you're hilarious. Okay, let's talk about why you guys. I notice you guys tend to like always protect the terrorists, like Iran and Venezuela.
How am I protecting the terrorists?
Why do you guys? You're out there protesting against Iran and Venezuela and stuff. Why?
We are? Where?
You know, I've seen
Hold on,
more
where?
Iranians.
Hey, where are we out there protesting that? Because I just let you know, I'm on the newsletter, so I get invited to all the protests, and I haven't seen that at all.
Okay. I've seen
Okay.
many videos of that. So
All right. So where was this protest? How did I miss it?
anyways,
Sir, I'm not asking you a difficult question. You're the ones out here saying that we're out here protesting for Iran. I'm asking you where this protest is. This shouldn't be a difficult question.
keep track of where the videos are.
Where the videos are? What videos?
Okay, never mind. Why don't we talk about ICE? You decided.
No, why don't we talk about the words that just came out of your mouth? Okay? That's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you words about the words that came out of your mouth. And it sounds like you just made that shit up, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Right. There's so many videos. Just look it up on any platform.
There's so many videos that say Bigfoot exists too. Should I believe that also?
Yeah, okay. So you're saying what? It's AI or something?
No, I'm saying that the broader left does not believe that Iran is good. Are there some people that maybe do? Sure, possibly. There's probably some people from the right that think that Iran is good. But the left as a whole does not believe that Iran is good at all.
Okay. Then can we go back to the ICE topic?
Sir, you're the one who changed it to Iran, not me. All right. If you want to go to the ICE topic, that's fine. I don't know. Then just don't change the subject.
Change it to Iran because you're talking about ice in your water.
I don't like ice in my water.
Yeah. No one's laughing at that. Like, but can we actually talk about?
You're literally laughing in this moment.
I'm laughing at your.
You're literally laughing while saying it. I'm so fucking funny that you can't even help but to laugh while you're telling me that nobody's laughing about it. That's how fucking funny I am, dude. I'm fucking hilarious, bro.
Okay.
Holy shit. How am I not on my own stand-up tour right now? I'm so fucking funny.
Let's actually talk about it. No one cares about your ice and water. Can we
What do you want to talk about, bud?
Ice.
What about ice? Are you gonna give me some context towards this, or what's up?
Why are you guys so against it? Why are you out there violently protesting for us kicking violent illegal immigrants out of this?
No, if that's what you were doing, there would be nobody protesting.
What are we doing?
Yeah, less than 3% of anybody that's been arrested or detained by the Trump administration has any violent criminal history whatsoever. Less than 20% have any criminal record at all. And that includes like jaywalking tickets and shit, dude. We're protesting, okay, for that other 80% who was here paying taxes, a lot of which came here fucking legally, a lot of which were children that are being thrown in freaking concentration camps in places like Dilley, Texas, or in Alligator, Alcatraz, right? Being sent to countries they're not from, being put in horrible conditions. That's who we're protesting about. I would absolutely fucking love it, sir. Like, truthfully, I think it would be absolutely amazing if Donald Trump would stop what he was doing and start started going after violent criminals. But if he does have to continue not going after just violent criminals, I think we would just stop if he would start treating people humanely, with empathy, that he would stop breaking the Constitution, right? That he would do things like within the law, that he wouldn't do things like racial profile and argue that he has to racial profile in order to do his job, what they actually did, would stop putting, like, taking infants and throwing them in prisons, things like that.
Okay, that's either way. Not just violent criminals. Any criminal that's here illegally is a criminal, and they should be kicked out. Why do they get to cut the line?
Cut what line,
Why
sir?
do you think they belong here?
Who belongs here? You don't belong here. Nobody belongs here.
Really?
Unless you're an indigenous person on this land, you don't belong here.
That's
You just came
genuinely
here,
the most retarded
or your family came here prior. What does the word belong mean, sir? No, truthfully, I'm asking you a very simple question. What does the word belong mean? What do you mean by belong?
We're legally in the country.
According to whose laws?
What are you? Is this? You do not understand what the word illegally in the country means? Like,
When the Mayflower landed here, were they here legally?
there was no laws against coming here.
There's no laws against coming here. So the people that came here without coming here legally, right, created laws to say who could come here legally. And now you're telling everybody else that the people who stole this land now get to choose who's here legally, correct?
There wasn't people crossing the border. There was not a border to be crossed. But I mean, there still was. But during the Biden administration, there was technically a border, but they let 20 million illegal immigrants.
Sir, we're literally talking about the founding of this country, and it's sad that you have to try to pivot to Biden. Sir, I asked you what means that we belong here, sir. That's what I'm asking you. Okay, sir. Is this idea of, sir, is this idea, sir, I'm more than happy to let you talk, okay? But literally, I just wish you would stay on the subject we're actually talking about, instead of bouncing all around everything that you know about immigration. Okay, that's all I'm asking. Okay, you're saying that people don't belong here. You're making claims about people who are criminals while simultaneously supporting somebody who's an actual felon. Okay, and you're making an argument about whether people should be here legally based off belonging or being against the law, when the majority of the people the Trump administration is picking up actually came to this country legally. And there actually is no actual criminal, misdemeanor or felony or criminal offense against actually being here on an illegal status.
So there's where's your evidence that they pulled out or they're getting illegal immigrants or not illegal immigrants? There's no
well, sir, there's no such thing as an illegal immigrant, right?
There's no such thing as an illegal immigrant?
Yeah, that doesn't exist, right? Because people aren't illegal. Actions are illegal.
If you come across the border illegally, you're an illegal immigrant.
No, if you come across the border illegally, you're an undocumented immigrant who committed the crime of crossing the border, which is a misdemeanor. Right?
Okay, what should the punishment be then?
I don't know. What's the punishment for other Class C misdemeanors?
I'm not educated in law enforcement, but
okay, so like jaywalking.
I don't know. Well, but they're also legal immigrants. They're not.
And I don't say what's the fine for jaywalking? Like $50 or something?
Sure.
All right. Well, it's the same level of crime, so
uninvited.
Maybe we should charge them $50.
They can wait in line themselves. Here's why the left really wants them here, is because they know that if they let them here, then and MAGA and the right doesn't, they want all those people to go and vote for them. And even if it's not them, those people, eventually they will, and the left is going to try and make it legal for them, and their kids will be able to. So anyway, you guys just want more votes and more power, and it's just...
First of all, immigrants as a whole, especially ones that come from Latin America, vote Republican about 50% of the time. And one of the highest concentrations of immigrants in this country is in Texas, and Texas is a red state.
Yeah. Okay. As of now,
They've been there the whole time, sir. They were the highest concentration before this last election.
yeah. So so 50% of Texas and Latin America. There's way more than just Latins coming to America too.
Yeah, but that's the ones that are primarily coming here is people from Latin America, and they vote about 50-50 Republican and Democrat. Actually, they tend to be very like tight Catholics, right? And a lot of them come from countries that are called communists and stuff like that. So a lot of them actually very much tend to vote Republican. So if the Democrats are trying to do this master plan to try to get voters, they're doing a really, really bad job at it.
Okay. They do a really bad job at many things, but so
good one. I think you got me there.
Why do you want 20 million people who cut everyone else who's actually waiting to get in legally?
Sir, there haven't been 14 million undocumented immigrants that have come in this country in the last 50 years.
What?
The total number of undocumented immigrants in the United States is between 12 and 14 million over the last 50 years. 50.
Holy frick. It's sarcasm. Are you sped?
That's sarcasm? Sir, I think you're confusing the word sarcasm with the word ignorance.
That makes zero sense. All right, I gotta go.
Well, that went well. Y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Stacy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate that. Said, but what about Biden? Dude, we were talking about the founding fathers and somehow got to Biden. I don't even, like, mid-sentence, bro. Like, I'm almost impressed. I truly am. I'm almost impressed. I was like, but Biden. Shay, thank you so much for the corgis and lighting up the corgis in my gift gallery. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That was very sweet. Big W's in the chat for Shay and for Stacy for supporting. We're going to open up the phone lines, keep this thing going. If you guys like to support, again, I have super chats, super stickers, pay links in the bio. I really appreciate that. Kurt, thank you for the $1. I really appreciate that also. I'll see if I can get to the message real quick. I'm not sure. So thanks for what you do. Caller was in the news, by the way. He was the first person to get old person smell at 19 years old. He got that old person Ben Gay smell. Is that what that was? Like that nursing home smell. Thank you guys so much. And Terry, thank you so much for the $5. Also, I really appreciate that too. Thank you so much. It's very sweet. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. All right, we're going to open up these phone lines, keep this thing moving. Keep it going. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
24.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes.
Hold on, how old did you say you were?
24.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
All right. Why do you still support Trump?
Because he's the best, and he's getting all the illegal immigrants out of our country.
He has? How many undocumented immigrants did he deport last year?
Do what now?
How many undocumented immigrants did he deport last year?
Not enough.
Well, you said he's getting all of them out, so it must have been enough. How can he get all of them out and it's not enough at the same time? Did you want him to make more undocumented immigrants so he could get those out too?
I want all of them out. Everybody. Like,
Well, you said he got all of them out.
Nah, he hasn't yet, but he's going to
Okay.
because he's our daddy.
That's weird. You know, he only got like 600,000 out. At this rate, it's going to take him like the next like 50 years to get them all out. Do you think Donald Trump will last 50 years?
Not if we use different methods.
What methods would that be, sir?
We need to deport more of them. We need to stop being so nice.
So you think last year was him being nice?
Yes.
Awesome.
I think he was.
So how do you think we can be meaner?
I mean, I don't know, but we need to.
What do you know?
Well,
Ooh. Again with the hard-hitting questions. This is where we answer the hard-hitting questions on this live. What do you know? What do you know was the question, and apparently that was enough to excuse him from the live. Crazy. Maybe his daddy was calling him. Jason, thank you so much for $5. Said Biden and Obama deported more people than Trump has, while simultaneously detaining fewer legal immigrants and citizens. He also cost the American taxpayer less. He didn't build concentration camps. You would think with the way that all of these Republicans talk about, or these MAGAs talk about, immigration, they would come up here and the first thing they would say is, Obama was the best president ever. You would think that'd be the first thing that they would say, because he did it more effectively and cheaper while using the Constitution, the law, and due process. It's wild. Thank you so much, Jason. I really appreciate that. And Dragon, thank you so much for the $5. It said, it's sickening you twisted people's words to fit your narrative, or even better, dodge the question and talk over people. Try RL stream time. Real life. Is that real life stream? How do you real life stream? The whole point of streaming is that it's not real life. Why don't you call in? Okay. Or we can meet up for a debate whenever, man. That would sound great. I welcome it with everything I have. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I am 39 years old.
How old?
39.
Awesome. What year were you born?
January 3rd, 1987.
All right. Do you still support Trump?
I can see why people vote for Trump.
It's not what I asked you.
No, I don't really like Trump, but I can agree with certain policies.
It's certain policies. Trump doesn't really have policies.
If you ask anyone when it comes down to trans rights, or the big one right now is immigrants and stuff like that, I can see why people voted for him.
You voted for him so he could do an executive order that affected 10 people?
I can see it because when it comes down to the
Sir, did you vote?
Say again?
Did you vote?
Not in the last election.
So you didn't vote in the election, you don't support Trump, and now you're just trying to defend people that did?
I can't understand.
I'm not interested in this conversation. Not in the slightest. I am in no way interested in having this conversation. All right. Not even a little bit. Y'all, please make sure you guys are turning on your notifications and joining the Discord so you guys know when I'm going live or when I post new content. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, man?
I'm excellent. How old are you?
25.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Well, I was just listening just a minute ago. He does have policies. They're policies that some people don't agree with, but that doesn't make them not policies. Everybody that came in had policies. Biden had policies. Obama had policies. Everybody has policies.
I mean, he has concepts of a plan.
I mean, that's the whole point. Everybody has a concept of a plan. That doesn't make it true.
Yeah, a concept of a plan isn't a policy.
A concept is a policy. It's an ideology. It's an idea.
An ideology is also not a policy. Actually, it's the exact opposite of a policy.
All right, so let me ask you for a sec, if you don't mind. Why is it? Because let me just say this first. I've listened. You've popped across my YouTube.
He a fan.
Yeah, a fan, man. Hey, I can.
I don't blame you. I'm awesome.
Still have to listen to what you have to say. You know, people from the left, they don't know anything about that. You know, sometimes you got to open your ears and you got to listen to what other people have to say to understand their thinking. So if you don't mind, let me ask you. If over the last 2 months, I've sat and I've listened to you talk and asked people why they still support Trump, I assume over what I've watched, you don't support him. So can I ask you, why don't you support him?
I don't support bad presidents. I don't support bad presidents.
You're right. I didn't support Bush.
No, I didn't support Bush either. And I would actually love to have Bush in comparison, to be completely honest with you.
I understood about Bush.
Yeah, I'd actually love to have Bush back in comparison, and I hated Bush.
Well, you realize that Bush got us into a war that then Biden tragically got our troops out of, but in a very awful way, and we lost very brave men and women.
Are we here to argue Bush policies or Biden policies? Because if you want to talk about the Afghan pullout, we can easily do that.
I understand that. You said that you don't support bad presidents.
Yeah.
Well, neither do I.
But you support Trump, so you do.
But so that's the only basis you have? Is that
no, I can get very specific, sir, but we'd have to be here. We'd have to be here for a really long time. So that's why I usually just let us get a little bit more specific first, right? But if you want me to just go off on a diatribe on why Donald Trump is bad, I can. That's not an issue. I can try to make it as quick as I possibly can.
Look, I opened this conversation up with I was willing to hear what you have to say.
Sure, perfect. So I don't support Donald Trump because I don't support bad presidents. If you'd like me to make an example of how Donald Trump is a bad president, we can start in any multitudes of ways. But first of all, let's start with Donald Trump, the person, right? Donald Trump is a 34 times felon who's adjudicated of sexual assault, who sexualized his daughter, who sexualized a 10-year-old, who has been sued over 4,000 times, including being sued and losing for defrauding a children's cancer charity for $400 million. Not to mention that literally I cannot even keep track of how many times at this point he's in the Epstein files, because every singular time that I freaking try to figure out how many it is, it goes up every single time. But let's leave that alone and completely move on to Donald Trump, the president. Donald Trump was president for 4 years already prior. During that time, he completely mishandled COVID. His complete lack of leadership allowed for states to be doing everything all over the place, which allowed the virus to spread, which cost people millions of lives in the United States. He instituted things like the Operation Warp Speed, which helped to speed up the vaccination, which could have helped with herd immunity to help reduce deaths in the United States. But instead, he told people to freaking, that we could possibly disinfect in order to take horse dewormer or not to take the vaccine. Okay, completely did that. And even before that, he had passed the TCJA, which was sending us towards a recession. We saw the first economic decline that we had seen in like 8 years in this country. The only thing that we had before that was Obama's policies, which had increased our economy significantly when we were doing well. All right. We saw a freaking significant GDP loss going into COVID, which is a complete negative. You wanted to bring up the Afghan thing without mentioning the fact that that entire pullout, including the part that happened under Joe Biden, was negotiated under the Trump administration at Camp David with the Taliban. And by the time Biden had gotten into office, we were already at a spot where we were already at bare bases. Okay. And the Biden administration knew that that was going to happen and tried to delay it, and the Republicans in Congress wouldn't let him. Not to mention the fact that all of Donald Trump's generals told him that if his pullout plan from Afghanistan with the Taliban had been was executed the way it was supposed to be executed, that people were going to lose their lives. And I do find it funny that while we talk about how bad that Afghan pullout was, and I don't freaking absolve Biden completely of doing that, we are literally watching Donald Trump get us into a freaking war right now after Donald Trump ran on being America first, ran on no new wars, and now is currently putting our American troops in danger, with 7 of them already losing their lives. And new reports saying today that at least we have at least 140 more that have been injured, with 8 severely injured and possibly in critical. Okay, we've seen the first job loss numbers in the United States since the shutdown for COVID, starting in June, where the last 5 of the last 12 months we've seen job loss, okay, instead of job gain, where we literally saw record numbers of job creation under the Biden administration, even continuing through the end of his year, end of the year. He is currently freaking building concentration camps and breaking the law and the Constitution by freaking going into people's homes, taking people that freaking deserve to be here. He's already overturned the legal immigration status of over 5.5 million immigrants to the United States. He literally has put over 3,800 children into these concentration camps, including 20 infants, where they are taken thousands of miles away from anything they've known, where they should be in school. He is arresting American citizens. He's deporting people to literal places that are torture prisons in places like El Salvador, and treating people completely inhumanely. He is still yet to give retribution to any of the victims of the Epstein files, even though that was something that he should have done a long time. He has hired completely incompetent people that have no ability to do their job, and literally, while talking about the death of American troops, starts talking about curtains and the big hole where his stupid fucking ballroom is going to go. And I have not even hit every single reason why Donald Trump is bad, okay? But if you just want a quick synopsis, how about we start there?
Well, that was, I mean, it's interesting, a lot of the stuff that you brought up. And it makes me wonder what podcast you listen to. It must be very, very liberal. But
yes, sir. I've been doing this for 2.5 years. No.
I stayed quiet.
I don't give a shit whether you stayed quiet or not. Sir, I have been doing this and studying this probably longer than you've known how to vote. Okay? So please don't sit with this. I wonder what podcast shit you listen to. You asked a question. I'm giving you my answer. Is there any part of that you would like to discuss?
Absolutely.
While we get to that instead of the ad homs, okay?
Cool. So, what you covered a lot. I'll give you that. I'll give you applaud for that one. Without taking a breath, might I add. But what I will say is that you trying to cover all of them. You said something about the Epstein files. What I thought was very interesting about you mentioning the Epstein files is just because somebody's in the files, that makes them a part of the investigation, but that doesn't make them guilty. You follow me?
No.
So basically, Bill Clinton was in the Epstein files. Does that make him guilty? I don't think so. You're in this country.
I don't know. Donald Trump won't release the files, so how will we know?
So again, in this country, you are innocent until proven guilty. So
Sure.
Who are you to go around judging somebody or confirming that they're guilty without knowing anything? You don't know nothing.
Sir, the only person that's stopping me from knowing these things is Donald Trump. That's it. There's only one person. There is one person.
Pam Bondi, and her ass is about to be out the door herself.
Pam Bondi, the person that Donald Trump.
She was put in place to do.
Yeah.
So we will take care of Pam Bondi. You don't worry about that.
Cool.
The rest of the files will come out, and people will be held accountable. Just
Gotcha.
go ahead and note that on record too.
Correct. I'm going to note that.
But
I'm
what
going to
I
note
will
that
say-
right next to the note. Okay. I'm going to note that right next to the note. Okay.
Thank you.
We're in
And what I will-
February
what I
of
will
last
say-
year.
what I will
Hold on.
add
Hold
too-
on, sir. Hold on, sir. I need to tell you which note it's going to be next to, and then you can tell me what you want to. I'm going to put that right next to the note. Okay.
I don't give a
And the
shit.
other note,
How did I know that?
yeah, the other note is going to be last year when Donald Trump specifically said, I am in charge of the DOJ, not Pam Bondi. I am in charge. Okay. So I'll put that right next to that note. Okay.
Well, and look, let me just, before I carry on, let me go ahead and notate this too. To some extent, in various areas, Trump has proven that he is bad with power trip. And no, he does not. He does not have. That's where we have stipulations that come in, and you have an order that you have to go in, a ladder. So actually, no, he does not. He doesn't have the authority to release those files and declassify them. That actually has to go through Congress first before that can be done. And it's been voted on now. If I'm not mistaken, I would say 2, but just to play it safe, I'll say 1. And they have voted not to declassify the documents. That's including Democrats too. That's everybody involved. That's very sketchy in itself. Let me
Congress
also note
literally
this,
voted
that
to release the Epstein
we should
files.
also
What are
look
you
to
talking about?
our government, that it doesn't matter on what side you're on. We're also being led by a very, very iffy government, some of which Donald Trump does not control. Let me might add that as well. There's also a lot of Republican congressmen and senators that are in seats that Trump did not back. He did not throw his support out. He did not back them. And some of which these Republicans, and very much so on the other aisle as well, are very guilty for some of these crimes. Not to mention, also last week, they put out a bill wanting to release all documents on any Congress member that have been paid off, had paid their victims off through sexual assault and through other crimes, and they all voted no.
Sir, everything you just said is complete horseshit. Sorry, I just can't. Sir, I thought you were going to wrap this up at some point. I really thought you were going to wrap this up at some point, but you apparently are not. Okay, these files are not fucking classified. They're not classified at all. They are not classified. Okay, they are 0% classified. Congress already freaking passed a bill to release the unredacted files, except for the files that related directly to victims. Okay. And therefore the Trump administration is in violation of that law because of it. Okay.
So then let me I'll ask you this. Then why did Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton just sit down under oath and both say Trump had nothing to do with Epstein?
Sir,
under oath, might I
don't give a fuck what the
right?
fucking Clinton said. I want the files released. First of all, I watched that entire deposition. They never fucking said that. Okay. But regardless, even if they did, okay, I want the files released. Okay. Because I don't want to hear what fucking shady ass Bill Clinton has to say. I don't want to hear what shady ass Hillary Clinton has to say. I don't care about any of those people that they have to say. Because first of all, they didn't say that shit. And second of all, I don't care. Release the files.
Y'all turn so fast, y'all turn on y'all's own people.
My own people? Who are my own people, sir?
Come on, man. You know who you support. Who did you just vote for? You mean to tell me you voted for Trump? Because I think that's a bunch of bullshit.
Of course I didn't vote for Trump. See, gotcha. You think it's a
Kamala. We all know.
See, gotcha. You think it's like a team. You think this is football. You're confusing politics with football. My bad. Let me correct you. I don't belong to a fucking team. Okay, if Democrats are bad and did stuff to people in the Epstein files or are involved in any way in the Epstein files, bury them underneath the jail. If they're Republican, bury them underneath the jail. If they're independents, bury them underneath the jail. Fuck, if they were doing stuff with kids, you can execute them as far as I'm fucking concerned. I would be much happier if we switched the death penalty away from freaking people that we incorrectly say commit murder all the time and put it towards people who freaking do bad things to children. You can completely wipe them off the face of the planet, and I couldn't give a flying fuck what party they belong to. You guys are the only ones who give a shit about that.
No, I actually just stated that there are Republicans that are actually guilty for those actions as well. I actually just stated that. But thank you for throwing me in the group with everybody else. I really appreciate that. Thank you. But anyways,
I didn't throw you where I can't throw you where you're already at, sir.
We are no. Listen, in this country, we are innocent until proven guilty. So that let's just move on to the next topic. Let's talk about the Iran. You said he ran on America First, no new wars, correct?
Before we just pivot, just because you want to, you said in this country
That's fine, go
we're innocent until proven guilty, right?
Absolutely.
You mean like when Donald Trump was
Absolutely, and I
proven
stand by
guilty
that.
by a jury of his peers unanimously 34 times for 34 different felonies?
So, but let me just throw this, because again, you're wanting to go back to this.
Oh,
So we'll
I
stay
gu-
on
I
it
guess we're
because
not
you were-
innocent
you're
until
like, I
proven
thought you were
guilty
gonna
in
wrap
that
this
case.
up,
My
but
bad.
You're the one carrying it on. So we'll go back to that. So
My
what we'll say
apologies.
is The 34 counts that he was convicted for. Please explain those for me.
Sir, I'm not here to be your law teacher. Okay. I was
Then
just
that's
asking you
fine. Then
because
let's pivot
you
off
said
let's pivot off this topic and let's talk about
no,
Iran.
no,
You
we're,
said
we're
no
right
new
on
wars.
topic, sir. All I was saying was you were very, very clear about people being innocent until proven guilty. And it seems like you just don't really care about that too much when it comes to Donald Trump being a felon 34 times. But please pivot to whichever topic you would
If he was convicted, why is he president and why is he not
Because he
in jail?
became-
Remember,
because-
the Democrats were in charge of this.
The Democrats were not in charge of this, sir.
And let me might add,
Democrats
same
were not in
Democrats
charge
were
of
the same
this,
ones
sir.
that controlled the House and the presidency, and the 4 years they tried gelling him in between this new presidency. You mean to tell me if they had anything on Epstein with him, you didn't? If they were already trying to gel him, you didn't throw the book at him. You had documents that they're claiming are sitting in a closet somewhere with his name written all over it, with him doing unspeakable acts along with Epstein. But you mean to tell me that for the 4 years they tried to jail him, you didn't want to throw the book at him? Please make
Three
sense
different
of that
things.
to me.
One, they actually started the investigation of Donald Trump when he was actually president the first time. They actually tried to indict him on all of these things when he was president the first time, and it was ruled on that they couldn't indict a sitting president. So when you say they tried to do it while Biden was president under the Democrats, that's actually not true. It actually started while Donald Trump was president the first time. So it was actually under Republicans. Second of all, I think that you get like so many things wrong there. So it's going to take me a second. Okay. Second of all, okay, you guys are very confused because you're used to Donald Trump, like when he came out and said that I'm in charge of the Department of Justice, where historically, ever since Watergate, presidents have just allowed the Department of Justice to work independent of the executive branch, right? Because they don't want any confusion or any even inkling of impropriety when it comes to judicial handlings, right? So therefore, it was not the Democrats that were trying to do any of this stuff. It was just the Department of Justice, the actual judicial system, that had evidence when it came to these sorts of things. Okay. And most of that evidence was because, oh yeah, either Donald Trump or his lawyers admitted to it. But when it came to releasing the Epstein files, actually what was going on is it was still under investigation because Ghislaine Maxwell was still going on trial for it. And you can't actually release any of the evidence of an ongoing trial because it could cause a tainted jury or any other type of, any other type of confusion within that trial, right? So therefore, they could not release the files. Then once Ghislaine Maxwell freaking had appeals after that, then when all of that was completed, then you can actually start releasing the files. So that actually couldn't have happened. So A, it actually started under Republicans. B, it wasn't Democrats, it was the Department of Justice. And C, those files couldn't be released no matter how many times the file Donald Trump was in them. Also, for like the third time,
president didn't have
sir,
access to him? To
sir,
convict
whether
him?
the president had access to him or not doesn't change anything of what I've said.
It
But
does
again,
change
sir,
everything. It
but
changes
again,
the fact
sir,
that even though they
but
couldn't release
again,
him, they could have
sir,
convicted him.
for the third time, and I'm only going to say it one more time, I am not saying that Donald Trump is doing any type of unspeakable acts in the Epstein files. I'm saying that he's not releasing the Epstein files because he doesn't want us to know what he did in there. Okay, so I don't know what he did. Okay, I know for sure that if I was freaking innocent of all this stuff, I'd be releasing those things real motherfucking quick. Okay, because I'd want to prove to everybody that I wasn't what everybody thinks I am and what I've been accused of and what people like Katie Johnson have said that he exactly 100% did. Okay, but I think it's kind of like when Tim Walz was in the debate, damning non-answer. That's all I'll say.
You know what? That's fine. And we, at the end of the day, you actually led with that he was guilty. I mean, you didn't come out and say he was guilty, but it was, come on, it was implied. Like, But that's fine. I would definitely love to move on to a new topic because it doesn't.
I'm sure you would, sir.
We're obviously not going to see eye to eye on this, and that's fine. That's fine. But you said no new wars, America first. So let me ask you something. You under Obama's presidency, he actually tried diplomacy with Iran and told them, you cannot enrich uranium and you will not make a nuke. That's fine. We will pay. He gave them $800 and something million is what he gave Iran. For whatever reason, we don't know. But gave them $800 million after he told them verbatim, you cannot enrich and you will not have a nuke. Since that point, they have continuously been enriching uranium and on the brink of making a nuke. Not to mention, we can go back to 2015 when Hillary Clinton sat on CNN and was speaking when she was running for president and actually stated that she wanted Iran to know that if she becomes president, she will bomb them, right? That was verbatim her words. Okay, so we'll move on. We'll fast forward. They are on the brink of having a nuke. Hold on. They are on the brink of having a nuke. And if you think for a second that they wouldn't shoot that nuke directly at us, you're crazy. This is also the same regime that just a month ago just gunned down 30,000 plus of their own people for protesting for liberation and change in their regime because they beat their women. They beat their children. They kill them in the streets. They murder them in front of their own families. This is the same regime that has done nothing but cause chaos to everybody in the Middle East. But you guys,
why do you guys? Can I ask a question?
Problem.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
First of all, literally everything you just fucking said, except for that last part, was a complete fucking fabrication, and I'm going to prove it to you in a second, okay? But second of all,
really?
what? Yes.
I would encourage you to fact check. That's all.
Already did. Actually, it's already on the screen. Actually, sir. Actually, sir, it's already on the screen, so everybody else can already read it. Okay, just to be clear that we already did that. But regardless of any of that, sir, sir, why do you think? Okay, for whatever reason, I don't know where the right has somehow come to this very, very weird confusion. Okay, that you think. Okay, that the left is saying because Donald Trump is executing an illegal war, okay, and that was a war of choice, that somehow means that we're saying that Iran is good. No one's saying that. Iran is horrible. Iran is the regime there is absolutely horrible. The Ayatollah is horrible. Sir, I'm talking and I am not interested in hearing your response right now. I am talking and I am not interested in hearing your response right now. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. I don't know why you guys think for some reason Iran is horrible. They're absolutely horrible people. Donald Trump said no new wars and then went and started a war. Period. Regardless of whether you think the administration was bad, which I do, I agree that they're horribly bad. But just because I believe the administration is bad doesn't mean that I think that we should be able to start an unconstitutional war and a war of choice and put American citizens for a threat that did not exist. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. One, I already have it on the screen. Okay, the Obama administration did not hand a bunch of money over to Iran in order for them to stop making nukes. Already on the screen, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Shh.
That's fine. What's your source?
Shh. Okay.
Let me guess. BBC.
Yeah, the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation.
Is it CNN? I'm sure it is.
I just answered the question. Were you listening enough to hear it?
I was not. I was
okay. Then
busy ranting at you. But go ahead and say it again.
Shh. I know, sir. I understand if you're quiet for too, sir. I understand if you're quiet for too long, you might accidentally learn something, and we wouldn't want that. Okay. So shh. Okay. It's the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation. Okay. And it actually goes directly into the payment. But to be very clear on top of that, the JCPOA absolutely 100% and unequivocally stopped Iran from enriching uranium past, I believe it was 2.7%. Okay. It 100% did that. We had people checking the entire time, and not once did Iran even attempt to go higher than that, right? It wasn't until after 2018 when the Trump administration pulled us out of the JCPOA. Okay. And at that point, they started enriching at a very high level. So the only reason that Iran started enriching towards level that could get closer to friggin' weapons grade was because the Trump administration pulled us out of the JCPOA. Further than that, just last year in March, the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, came on television and told all of us that they were not trying to build a nuclear weapon. Okay, so our own intelligence apparatus, including and backed up by the intelligence apparatus of over 50 other countries, said that they were not trying to build a nuclear weapon. However, the Trump administration decided to ignore all of that information and to bomb Iran anyway to take out their nuclear facilities. And so far in June, I was told by the Trump administration that Iran's nuclear facilities were completely destroyed and they had no ability to build a nuclear weapon. Okay. And Donald Trump also told us that they were decades away from being able to create a nuclear weapon. So between freaking the JCPOA, the removal of the JCPOA, Tulsi Gabbard statements, Donald Trump statements, they were nowhere near building a nuclear weapon. So your entire statements about, oh, they were trying to build us a nuclear weapon. No, they weren't. Okay. They also don't even own ICBMs, and we don't actually have any intelligence right now saying that they were even trying to build freaking ICBMs. So you're wrong on that again. Okay. But you actually aren't answering any of the questions that we're actually talking about, which was that Donald Trump said he was going to go no new wars. He didn't say no new wars unless I feel like it later. He didn't say no new wars and maybe we'll think about wars another time. He said no new wars, America first. Okay. And I just want to know, because you voted for him, right? Why you think that no new wars should change from no new wars to a war of choice just that quickly?
Okay, I can answer that question very easily. So you mean to tell me that you wake up? Let me use you for an example. You mean to tell me you wake up every single morning, and this is exactly what you're going to do for the day, and nothing changes during that time? And I'm just putting it in perspective. I'm not comparing. I'm putting it in perspective. Your day does not change hour by hour. You don't have things that get wrenches that get thrown in your plan. You don't have things that change. It's the same thing with this world, dude. Come on.
What changed?
Why are y'all stuck on the fact that
changed?
Almost 2 years ago is when he said this? This world is different than where it was 2 years ago. Y'all can't get that through your mind. Y'all want to.
What changed, sir?
He said no new wars. Guess what? Things changed, buddy.
What changed?
Again, the fact that Iran, and hold on, let me just note this because let me note this real quick too. Because you said the Iranian people were bad people. They're not bad.
I did not say that. I actually specifically said the opposite.
You did say that.
I did not fucking say that, sir. Stop trying to pivot the conversation because you're losing.
I'm not pivoting the conversation.
You are. I actually specifically said not the people. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. I actually specifically said the people were not the problem, that the regime was. Please do not put words in my mouth. What changed?
You said no.
What changed, sir?
But okay, that's fine. That's fine. But what I will say...
No, you're not going to say anything, but you're going to tell me what changed. That's it. You said things changed.
What changed?
What changed?
They just murdered 30,000 of their own people in the street.
Why is that? Did Donald Trump not tell them? Did Donald Trump not tell them to get out of their houses and go to protest in the streets?
You know what? And that's fine, because what if we did that to every single one of the... See, that's what you're missing. Me and yourself and everybody else listening on this line right now, we are privileged fucking Americans that don't know what it's like to live under some of these atrocious governments.
So what Donald Trump meant when he said no new wars, he meant no new wars unless other people in other countries start doing bad things. Just a little hint, countries are always doing bad things. Donald Trump invites Vladimir Putin to be on peace boards okay, and invites him to go have tea and crumpets or whatever in fucking Alaska. And we don't attack Russia because they're doing bad things. We actually do the opposite. Okay, Donald Trump went and saluted Kim Jong-un in North Korea. They're the most repressive government, one of the most, if not the most repressive government on the planet. And Donald Trump was writing him love letters. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't think when Donald Trump said no new wars, he meant, oh, I think everything in the world is going swimmingly and everybody is treating their people well. And it's only new wars unless I find out differently. Because guess what, sir? When he said no new wars, Iran was already being a repressive government. They were doing it before he said that. So he knew that was happening when he said that. So that was nothing that changed, sir. So what changed?
So let me, okay, thank you for letting me have the floor now. So what I'll ask you again is you just specifically said nobody asked them to come out of their houses and protest. Let me ask you something. So that gave them the right to murder their
Absolutely
own people?
fucking not, dipshit. I'm not asking you if, sir, again, you're trying to pivot the conversation to, is Iran bad? And I'm not going to let you fucking do it. I've already said multiple times on this live that the Ayatollah is a horrible human being. The regime is completely repressive. Sir, maybe you'd stop bringing up the point if you could be quiet and let me finish the sentence.
What if
All right. Again, sir, I'm going to say it again. And if you try to bring it up as if I'm saying Iran is good again, I'm hanging up the phone on you. Okay? Because your inability to listen is just causing me to have to repeat myself, and I don't like doing that. All right? I need you to listen.
Everybody's listening.
Listen. Okay? The Ayatollah, horrible person, regime incredibly oppressive, who has been literally torturing and killing their own citizens for fucking decades, okay? Since he's been in power, and actually the Ayatollah before that was also horrible and repressive. They've been a threat to the region for a long time, a destabilizing spot in the whole in the region for a long time. And if you want my just honest personal opinion, I have zero love lost for Khomeini being dead. I actually think the world is a better place now that he's fucking dead. If you want me to be completely honest with you, couldn't give a shit. I'm glad he's gone. I hope that entire regime is wiped off the fucking face of the planet, because I think that they're absolutely all horrible people, and I believe that the Iranian people deserve better. Did you hear all of that time?
I did hear that.
All right, now answer my fucking question. What changed?
Again, you just answered your fucking question, dude.
All of that was happening before Trump was elected. All of that shit was happening before Trump was elected, and he still said no new wars. So if that's the case, then nothing changed.
Well, what changed was the fact that they were launching missiles at fucking Israel just a year ago. What are you talking about?
They were launching missiles in retaliation for Israel launching shit at them. Hold on. They were launching missiles at fucking Israel because Israel attacked them.
Israel attacked them because they had proxies that were trying to infiltrate into
and
Israel.
They had that before Trump came in also. So the answer is nothing changed. Nothing changed. And guess what, sir? And guess what, sir? Not only has nothing changed, sir, and guess what? Not only has nothing changed, but nothing has still changed. We've now spent $10 billion. We've lost the lives of 7 American troops, 140 more injured, 8 critically. Okay. And guess who's in power?
That's part of war,
the freaking Ayatollah Khomeini's son, sir. Ayatollah Khomeini's son, who's worse than he is critically
wounded. He got hit by airstrike.
And guess what? If that is true, then the next guy that comes in will be just as fucking bad. And the White House knew prior to attacking Iran, we already have the intelligence that shows it, okay, that they knew that there would not be regime change, even if they attacked. They knew it prior.
It's called intervention.
They knew it prior.
It's called intervention. That's the whole
what is
point of
called intervention?
This is U.S. intervention. That's exactly what this is.
I thought that's
This
what
is
Donald
US
Trump was running
intervention for
on.
the Iranian people.
I thought that's what Donald Trump's whole point was. I thought literally his entire candidacy was based on no more U.S. intervention, on literal U.S. isolationism, on no new wars, on America first, on spend money here, on take care of Americans before we try to be the world's police. That was literally what he said so many fucking times. And that's all I'm asking you, sir. I am simply just asking you.
So you
okay,
don't think
I
the
am
US
simply just
so you
asking
don't
you
think the US
why
should
you
intervene?
are so quick to just switch fucking things. And no, I don't think the United States should have came in militarily. I think that we had a diplomatic solution that was happening.
So you think another
I think that we could have.
40,000 should have been shot dead?
So the only reason 40,000 were shot dead is because Trump is fucking president to begin with. That's the only reason that happened. If Trump wasn't fucking elected, then those 40,000 people never would have been fucking executed to begin with. Trump is the reason. Okay,
They were protesting
we had
for fucking
we
change.
had actual diplomatic solutions that were in place. We had actually the Iranian government that, while still not fucking good and still fucking a horrible fucking regime, was actually moving towards the right direction, was not attacking Israel, was not creating nuclear weapons. We're actually moving in this direction. Donald Trump came, pulled us out of all of that shit, and
Actually, they were
caused
supplying
this shit
drones
to
to Russia,
happen,
but
sir,
okay.
and caused this shit
But
to
they were
happen.
moving in the
The
right
reason
direction.
why that shit happened was because of Trump. What you're saying is Trump caused the problem, and because Trump caused the problem, Trump needs to go on top of that and then try to fix the problem that he created.
Trump caused 40,000 people to get shot dead. in the
Trump's
street.
lack of diplomacy 100% pushed Iran further to the extremist side, which led to these sorts of things. 100%.
Iran sat there and did not want diplomacy.
Bullshit. They had diplomacy under fucking under the Obama administration. It wasn't until Trump
And it
came
didn't
in
fucking
and got rid of that diplomacy that any of this happened.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I know. You should start listening to him too.
It didn't work under Obama.
It did
and
work under
didn't
Obama.
Trump,
It
and
did work under
didn't
Obama.
Biden, and
It did
wasn't
work
working
under
Trump
Obama. It
again.
did
So
work
guess
under
what? We
Obama.
bombed the
It
fuck
did
out.
work under Obama. It did work under Obama. It did work under Obama.
And how? How? Because they kept enriching uranium.
They did not.
They kept. Yes, they did.
No, they did not.
We have intelligence that said they did. What are
The
you
intelligence
talking about?
shows they increased their enrichment in 2019. I've read all of that intelligence. It said that Iran increased their enrichment in 2019, the year after Donald Trump pulled us out of the JCPOA.
That's like 5 minutes ago. You said 2018.
No, that's when he pulled us out of the JCPOA. You need to keep track, sir. Again, you keep doing all this talking while I'm talking, so you're not listening. Okay? 2018 is when the Donald Trump pulled us out of the JCPOA. 2019 is when the intelligence shows that Iran started increasing their enrichment capabilities.
Oh, because we stopped babysitting them? Holy shit.
Because we
So they need a
backed
fucking
out of
babysitter?
the diplomacy.
It was not fucking diplomacy. We were there babysitting them.
Actually, we weren't even the one babysitting them.
Oh my God. You
The
just
fucking UN was.
which is our fucking people too. In case you fucking forgot.
Yeah, barely.
Barely nothing. We are part of the United Nations. We are fucking one.
Yes, we are one little piece. How many countries are in the United Nations, sir?
Sense right now. So what you're telling me is we have to be over there and fucking babysit them?
No, sir. We didn't have to
We
be
have
over
to
there
babysit a
babysit. That was the
fucking
sad
government
part.
to not
We
kill
actually
40,000
didn't have
of their own
this.
people?
Sir, the sad part is
To not
we didn't
create a
even.
nuke to shoot at us?
Sir, the sad part is we didn't
All
have
right,
to
go ahead.
babysit them. Yeah, they were just doing it. Crazy enough. Yeah. That's the sad part, is we didn't have to babysit them. We were going in there because according to the agreement, in order for the release of sanctions, we would check to make sure that they were acting right. And every time we checked, they were acting right.
Because they were moving their shit.
Moving it where, sir?
The reason we were using fucking bunker busters is because they literally moved them 4 stories below the fucking earth.
After
why we didn't
Donald
fucking
Trump
know.
pulled us out of the JCPOA. Holy shit. It's like talking to a fucking child, dude. Do you
No,
realize what
you're
year it
like
is?
talking to
Do
a
you
fucking
realize
child.
what
It doesn't
fucking
make-
year
you're
it
not
is,
making
sir?
any fucking
Do you
sense.
understand what year it is? It is 2026. They
And
have been
guess what?
enriching. They have been enriching and moving their shit for 8 fucking years now because Donald Trump pulled us out of the JCPOA. If Donald Trump hadn't stopped the diplomacy 8 years ago, we would not be in the situation we are now. What is so hard for you to understand about this? This is a problem that was created by the Trump administration, and now you're saying the Trump administration has to put us into a war of choice to fix the problem that the Trump administration put us in. Okay? You don't get credit for putting out the house fire that you started. That's not how this
Whatever.
fucking
Nobody
works.
started shit, buddy. Nobody started shit. Y'all started all this shit when y'all got in the fucking street, acting like a goddamn fool, like y'all don't know how to fucking act. Y'all
Oh, you
burn
mean
our
like
fucking
January
cities
6th?
down. You assault our peace officers.
You mean like
You're
January
fucking
6th?
retarded. These are the same motherfuckers.
You mean like
you call
January
when
6th,
you need
sir?
help.
You mean
You're
like January
You're a
6th?
fucking moron.
You mean like January
your
6th, sir,
people
where
are
all of,
retarded.
where you
Y'all-
guys
y'all
attacked the
need to go to
Capitol,
Iran.
tried to overturn a free and fair election, and injured over 140 Capitol police officers? Is that what you're
People that need
referencing,
to
sir?
be fucking murdered.
Is that
And
what
y'all
you
need to
is that
be
what you're
retarded.
referencing, sir?
A
Just out of
fucking
curiosity,
disgrace to this country.
huh?
You're a disgrace to this country. All
I'm a
of you.
disgrace for this country
Every
because I stand
fucking
up for
one of
what?
you.
Things like the Constitution, things like the American soldiers that are over there dying and
Constitution.
risking their lives for absolutely fucking nothing, the fucking rule of law, for actually democracy, for actually diplomacy, for people. I'm a disgrace to this country because I actually know what the Constitution says and I know what the law says, while you sit up there and protect a guy who's protecting fucking pedophiles on fucking Epstein's Island, while you sit there and protect that shit, but I'm the one that's American, while you sit there and support Trump while he violates the First, Second, Fourth, Fifth, 14th, and 22nd Amendments of the Constitution and violates his own oath of office. That's why it makes me non-American. Yeah.
Get punched in the fucking face.
Oh.
That's what needs to happen.
Oh,
we need to
and
go
now,
back to the
and now
90s
when
where
you're
we just
now
walk
now
up and
you're
dunk
too
the fuck out
stupid,
of
so
you.
you're reverting to
That's the
violence.
problem. Y'all
Understood,
are
sir.
coddled
This
like
is what
babies.
this is what Neanderthals do when they can't compete intellectually. They try to commit violence. Get the fuck off my live. W's in the chat for Pauly. Fucking Pauly's putting in work over here. Yo, please hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you're new here, welcome to the live. If you're new here, welcome to the fucking live. Holy shit. Woo! Y'all, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. I've been on for a while. Holy crap. I was actually going to be off by now, but man, I got it going. We got going up in here. Yo, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn those notifications on. We do this Sunday through Thursday. Sundays through Thursday, every evening, Sunday through Thursday. So I really, really appreciate you guys being here. I'm on fire today, am I not? Holy shit. I am burning through people. I am burnt. This has been a good live. I've been going at it today. I really appreciate it. Y'all, if you guys would like to support the live, I do have pay links in the bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. Not the 1.0 if you're over on YouTube, just the Polypolitics part. I also have a super chat, super stickers, live gift goals, trying to clear out that gift gallery. So if you guys would like to support, I really, really appreciate that. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if I want to take another caller. Do I even take another caller at this point? Holy crap. That was a whole thing. That was a whole thing. All right, we'll take one more if we got one more. We take one more just because I'm all wound up now. Shay, thank you so much for clearing the hat and mustaches for me off the gift gallery. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll take one more. If we can get another one, we'll take another one. I'm all wound up. I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. I'm coming at you like a spider monkey. Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
Insane.
while we're waiting on the next caller, we are going to hit up a few super chats. So I really appreciate that. First of all, thank you so much, Crystal, over on the Blue app over there for the $5 and ask us if he supports this war, when and where he's going to enlist. Yes, for anybody talking like that, just please remember, Recruiter's office is open tomorrow. Might even be open today. We might be able to call him right now. Check him out. And Mel, thank you for the $20 over on the same app. Said keep cooking. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mel. WC chat for Mel and Crystal. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
39.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I support Trump, but in a different kind of way.
Oh, this
I'm
is
not
never
MAGA.
good.
Huh?
Why is that?
Well, I am an extreme progressive, borderline anarchist, right?
Oh, God.
And I am on the political spectrum. I'm like very, very tired of the Democratic Party as well as the Republican
Yeah,
Party.
this is some
not
like
gonna be like,
horrible
oh, they're the same, because I
accelerationist
don't
argument,
believe they're
right?
the same. But
This is some
I am someone who
accelerationist
wants-
comment. Hey, are you about to make an accelerationist argument?
Yes.
Cool, because I have no patience
I
for
want
that. Thanks. I have zero patience for an accelerationist argument. Literally, I'd rather talk to MAGA. No joke. Not even close. James, thank you so much for the laughing disco. I appreciate that. Luis, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Said keep education these MAGA morons. I really appreciate that, Luis. Thank you so much. Andy, thank you so much for the floating heart. To Blues, thank you so much for the $5. Said as portrayed in the film The Apprentice, Donald Trump. Ooh, can't put that up there. If it were a lie, he would have sued. He did not. Yeah, I agree to Blues. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you?
Hey, good evening.
Hi, how old are you?
31.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Of course.
Awesome. Why is that?
He's bringing peace for the world. A lot of people are talking shit here in the United States. Like, I don't know if you're a Democrat. I don't know. You mentioned that you're not either one or Democrat or Republican. You're like, you know, you seem like a smart guy. Like, you know, you do your research, basically. But what I'm seeing from my opinion, and I see the point of views on everybody's point of view. And I seen that Trump is definitely helping out people around the world, even though here in this country, they don't appreciate what they have. The Iran people, the Venezuelans, we talk about the last two wars that he started, which guaranteedly, yes, he did start those wars secretly because he can't tell the people, he can't tell the world, yeah, I'm gonna do this before, and, you know, warn everybody. He just take out the bad people. And those people in Venezuela and Iran, they're very happy. They're celebrating. They support Trump. And they don't see like the good that he's doing. And even
Why
here
would
in
the
this
people?
country, there are
Why
groups
would
that your
people in the
protesters
no?
and
I have a
everything
no.
that are
I have a
coming
question.
out,
No
and
question.
They support
sir,
him.
sir, you're just going in circles. Okay, stand by.
No, I'm not going in circles. I'm
You
being direct.
No, no. You're saying the same thing over and over again now. So that's why I'm stopping you. Okay. So question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
So in Venezuela, he went out and took out the leader of a regime, and then left the regime, the same regime that was torturing the Venezuelan people. He left all of them in power. Okay. Currently, in Iran, the freaking Khomeini is gone, and now his more evil son is now taking over. So, what exact reason do any of these people have to be celebrating?
Okay, they're celebrating it. If you do your research in detail, not just go based off this country's news.
I have.
If you look at Venezuelan news, all those people that were in prison for no reason, just for protesting, and they've been in prison more than 10 years, 5 years, for just protesting. All the Venezuelan people that were in prison just for protesting, good people, they came out and they got together with all their families.
And a lot of people after
they
that,
were celebrating.
Sir, they're literally arresting.
And they thank Trump. They thank Trump every
Sir,
day
there's
because all
literally
families got
people being
together.
arrested in Venezuela
Iran
daily
people,
for
the same
protesting.
thing.
Hey, there are literally people being arrested today for protesting in Venezuela. That's happening right now.
No, it's not, sir.
Yes, it is.
I know Venezuelans. I know.
Congratulations. I know
myself.
Venezuelans
I see
too.
the Venezuelan lose. I got international channels. It's a lot better than versus what it was before. These people were suffering.
The internet, the news from Venezuela that's ran by the state.
Go ahead.
The news in Venezuela that's literally ran by the Maduro regime.
He's dead. Maduro.
The regime is still in place.
They're dead.
The regime is still in place.
They're trying to come back. They can't. They won't do it.
Sir, he put the vice president in
can't.
charge. Do you know what the word regime means?
What are you talking about? We're talking about the same thing. Maduro.
Regime. Do you know what the word regime means?
I know what the word regime means. Of course,
What does it mean?
we all know what the word regime means. But we're talking about the people. You're trying to
What
pivot.
does the word regime
Stop trying
mean?
to pivot to no. You're trying to pivot.
No, I'm not. I'm tired of saying this.
And now, and you know who's asking for help now?
No one
the
cares.
Cubans and the
Not asking you. What does the word regime mean? You're muted. Okay, no one can hear you. I'm not doing this. I'm already sick after that last guy. I'm not going to play these stupid games with you. What does the word regime mean? I'm going to unmute you on the count of 3. Okay? And then we're going to answer that question so we can continue the previous conversation. Sounds good? 1, 2, 3.
regime is a politics that are against they're against people. They're against good people. It's like a dictatorship, basically.
Okay, so it's an authoritarian government. Okay, a regime is not one person, sir. A regime is not one person. Okay, it's not one person. If you take out it's a group, right? So if you take out Maduro and leave the same group in charge, okay, then the same people who were doing all the oppression are still there oppressing. Okay. This is why we call it a regime change.
I understand what you're saying, but it's not true what you're saying, bro.
It is true.
You can't be pulling up lies or think if it's your opinion, it's your opinion.
It's not an opinion.
You can't make that as a fact.
The vice president under Maduro is now in charge. All the leaders that were leaders in Venezuela, they're all still there. All the people in the military that oppressed them, that put people in prison, that executed prisoners, that executed civilians in Venezuela or Iran, they're all still in charge. None of them are gone except for Maduro. And then a lot of them are gone in Iran, but still that regime is still in charge, okay? And I don't see how people in Iran even have the ability to start celebrating because their cities are literally being bombed. Their infrastructure is literally being bombed. Israel they're literally having black rain, literally poison rain happening in Iran right now. And you're like, the people are out celebrating? Bro, the people are trying to serve.
In a safe city.
Sir.
But you know what? It's the same people.
Sir, the people are trying.
Iran.
Oh my God. The people are trying to survive. Okay. The people in Iran are trying to survive. Now, I'm sure that there are tons of people, and I've seen evidence of this. Okay. There are tons of people that are not in Iran. Okay. People that escaped the regime, right? People that fled for their lives. And those people are celebrating, right? 100%, right? And I believe they have every reason to celebrate. Okay. The person that one of the many people that freaking made their lives hell, that caused them to flee to other countries is gone. And I think that that's great. Okay. Really, truthfully, I think for them, I think that's really, really awesome. But that does not make the situation in Iran better because, other people in other places get to celebrate.
No, the regime is the only one that's that's making Iran, like you said, the regime is still there, and those are the same people that are destroying their own country,
I agree,
and that's messed up. Because if you protest, they'll kill you. It's not like here, and the people over here in the United States, I was born here and everything. They don't appreciate the freedom that we have, because if you protest out there, go to Iran. All these people protesting Iran, Ukraine, go over there and protest and see what happens to you.
What argument are you making right now?
Under the door, under the floor.
What argument are
and
you
they don't
making?
appreciate.
Sir,
I think they don't even care about
hello?
the people. They just
Sir,
care. They just care because
literally,
Trump
I'm about to hang up
doing
on you
good things.
because you have no will to. You have no
go
will
ahead.
to have
That's
a
all
conversation.
you do, man.
You have
when
no
you get
will
in
to
a
have a
conversation.
you have no will to have a conversation. Okay. Everybody knows that that's what happens in Iran. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. No one's arguing that that's bad. You're making an argument that nobody is making. Nobody's arguing that. You're not listening to anything. I think that you just have this like little agenda that you wrote down and you're like, oh, I'm only going to write down my agenda points and I'm going to stick to that. You're not listening. No one's arguing what you're saying. The argument is not whether Iran's government was bad. We all know it was. Whether they were repressive, we all know it was. Whether or not they were executing their citizens, we all know it was. No one's making that argument. The argument is that the same regime that was doing all of those things still exists in these countries, that the problem is not solved, and that nothing that Donald Trump has done has solved that problem. Okay? And I'm tired of you just going over and over with Iran's government bad or Maduro's regime bad. We all know that, bud. What has Donald Trump done to fix that? Nothing. It's still the same problem that it was before, sir. That's the argument I'm making. And honestly, if you can't make an argument against that, then there's no point in having this conversation with you.
But why are you upset that Trump is trying to do the right thing for the world? He is going to.
I don't believe he is.
Till the regime disappears.
Donald Trump was already briefed prior to the invasion that no amount of freaking air tax or anything like that was likely to upend the regime. He also specifically said that this was not a regime change war and he was not trying to freaking change the regime. Okay? So
they were threatening us. You know those people in the regime, they were saying death to America.
Stop trying to change the argument. Stop trying to change the argument. Stop trying to change the argument.
10 years they've been saying.
Stop trying to change the argument. Did Donald Trump or did he not say that this is not a regime change war? That's all I'm asking you. Did he say this is not a regime change war?
No, it isn't. It was the same regime, the one that was threatening us the whole time.
Gotcha.
Iran.
So if we're not changing the regime
every single day,
if we're not changing the regime, then what is your point, sir? Because you're saying that what we need is the regime to be changed, and Donald Trump said we're not changing the regime. So what is he doing?
Take him out. He's going to take him out. There's no change of no damn regime. He's going to take him out. And that's
so if there's no change of regime, then the Iranian people are in the exact same.
Cuba.
Then Iran is in the exact same position that they were in before. Okay, if there's no change to the regime, then Iran is maybe not the exact same situation, but at least in a bad position. Okay. That just like it was before. I want something better for the Iranian people, okay? I don't want to just bomb their country, okay, and leave them in ruins like we've done to every other Middle Eastern country over the last fucking, 40 years or whatever, however long it's been, right? 40 plus years or whatever, right? If we're going to go there to do something better for the Iranian people, then let's just do something better for the Iranian people. Okay, let's not get talked into it by Netanyahu. Let's not go there and fucking and just bomb and leave the country in ruins. Let's not let's not just leave the country in a worse place than they were before. If we have to go to war with Iran, right? If we have to take out their regime and we're doing it for the Iranian people, then let's do it all the fucking way, right? If we have that ability. But I'll tell you what, the only way we're doing that is with a very long extended war and boots on the ground. And I don't know if the people in America are willing to actually do that. But I assume that you'll be enlisting tomorrow, right? Since that's what you want.
1,000%.
All right, cool, sir. Well,
1,000%.
which branch you going into?
I'll go to the Army. I'll go straight to the floor.
All right, cool. Well, perfect.
That's how much I love my country. You know,
all right,
and
cool,
you know
sir.
all
then
the
go,
people on the left, they want to do
sir.
that shit, not even for
then
a second.
go do it.
They just
Then
come
go.
over
You
here
want me to call the recruiter with you?
acting like fools.
Want me to call the recruiter
acting
for
like
you?
Fools. You could call the recruiter.
Yeah. I'll get your information.
Are you gonna come with me? Do you love this country? Are you gonna come with me?
I've already served this country, sir.
Oh, you served in a country.
Yeah, in more
What
ways
branch?
than one, sir. I think it's your turn for your
Which
war,
branch?
okay?
Which branch? So I
Sir,
can
none
look
of
it
your
up. Which
fucking
branch?
business. I don't
Because
care
that
if
was
you
in
look it
public
up,
record.
okay? I couldn't give a shit whether you believe it or not. Really, it doesn't mean anything to me, okay, sir? So, but I will save your number and I will make sure that if you, right? Insane. I said I will make sure to save your number because then that way I know that if you ever call me again that you lied because you should be in boot camp, right?
You know what? I want to know what branch you was too.
I don't give a
So I
shit
can
what
call
you want to
too.
know, sir. I'll put it this way: the
So
branch I
don't
got
lie.
into,
If
you're not
you
smart
ain't no
enough.
branch, if
Sir,
you're proud of it,
sir, what I'll say is this: the branch that I was in, you're not smart enough to get into. Okay. That's all you need to know. Okay. That's all you need to know. Scott, thank you so much for the $5. And maggots, open your eyes and close your rear ends. Heavily altered. Yeah, I'm sure. Shush, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I really appreciate that. Justin, thank you so much for the $5 that did the damn thing tonight. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Justin. Carla for the $5 said, Paulie, I love your live. Keep educating MAGA. Thank you so much. Diego, thank you so much for the jewels. Ryu, thank you so much for the jewels. Land of the Living, thank you so much for the jewels. Stacy, thank you so much for the $5. Said, love that MAGA pretends to care about Iranian women while actively trying to take away rights from women in this country. Also, you can also 100% get killed for protesting in this country. Ask Renee Good or Alex Preddy or any of the other people that have gotten killed while protesting in this country. So maybe we should be paying attention to the protesters in this country and the authoritarians is happening here. Just thought I'd throw it out there. Dragon, thank you so much for $2. Said, I'm not saying Trump is perfect. His policies are. First of all, what policies? Second of all, Luis, thank you so much for the $10. That even Fox News questions the cost of Trump's war. Well, you know, even a blind squirrel catches a nut every once in a while, I guess, right? Lovely, thank you so much for the goat. Beat, thank you so much for the $5. Said, caller, if you can see this, you're an idiot. You can't listen and pass a few words in a sentence before you forget something Paulie said. Thank you, Beat. Red, blue, purple, thank you so much for the $2. And MAGA does not equal patriotism. You're in a cult. 100%. Betty, thank you so much for the $2. Says, Paulie don't wear a tank top on stream. Excites MAGA. Is that why I got all the wild ones today? Is that why I got all the wild ones today? Because I got the guns out? I can't get them all riled up like this, okay? I can't get them all riled up. They're gonna crash Grinder over here again. Thanks, Betty. Dog, thank you so much for the $2. Said he's crashing out on the that MAGA juice, heavy, snorting it. Groovy, thank you so much for the clapping seals. Just me, Andy, Great Granny, thank you so much. Luis, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Said, I just screen record this topic, this conversation I did have with my MAGA friend. Oh, you did a conversation very similar? I'm sorry. Or are you going to? Either way, I'm sorry. To be completely honest with you. Luis is out here doing God's work out here in Puerto Rico. Luis is out here he's doing what I do, just in Spanish in Puerto Rico. Okay, he's gonna go on tour with Bad Bunny and just a debate prior to the show. Wouldn't that be great? Jackie, thank you so much. Little Woman, thank you so much. Groovy, thank you so much for the goat. Thank you so much for that. That's huge. King Rick, thank you so much. Rick, thank you for the floating heart. Corey, thank you. Joe, thank you so much for the $2. Said Trump doesn't care about the people. He does not. Absolutely. All Things Good said, like your show, keep speaking truth to the lies. Thank you so much. All Things Good. Jerry, thank you so much for the girl power. Truth is key. I said, this is for the Tylenol fund. Stock up for all the headaches that you got in. Oh my God. I can't be taking the Tylenol, Truth. I'll end up with the tism. That's what RFK told me. RFK told me if I keep taking the acetaminophen. Ooh, that's a hard word. How do you pronounce that? Acetaminophen. You'll get a mean case of the tism. Huge W's in the chat for Truth for that $50 and for Luis, who also did $50. He just did it in 3 separate super chats. So thank you so much. I really appreciate both Truth and